Still in other people's history. Man, if you don't get your goofy eye, man, what are you, a Siberian, a TP scavenger? Get the fuck out of here.
Yo, what up, man?
What's cracking with you, David? What it do, bro?
Yeah. Nah, hey, this is the damn work, yo. When you gotta go back and you see like we are the main cultivators and we gotta watch the stars just to plant this shit. We're the people,
That's
bro. Like, how the fuck are you gonna say like we're not the people now? That's why I use the stars as like the ultimate game ender. It's the checkmate, bro. Like, what are they gonna do? Move left or right? You can't.
can't do nothing about it. And look at Goofy comment down there, right? Cuz said, I'm not the one making stuff up. That lets you know they don't know this knowledge.
Yeah, it's a
There's
deeper
not enough
knowledge,
y'all.
bro. Like the fact that it's directly above us. This shit isn't in Africa. This shit is in America. If it
Come
was in
on, yo, what?
Africa, yeah, they could show it with the camera right now, but they can't. You know what I'm saying?
Word up. Hey, let me make you a full mod. Let me make you a full mod. I don't know if you're a full mod.
Yeah, I
Maybe
think you
like
made me a mod. But yeah, what
uh,
the fuck? Paul Ferguson, you got to go do some research, Paul. You way behind. If you thinking that Africa is it, you lost, brother.
I don't think he think that. I think he said we still in somebody else's history, so he claiming that we are not the American Indians, even though he don't know this knowledge, right?
Nah,
His
he
people don't
bugging.
teach this because
Everybody
it's not
knows.
shit.
Yeah, everybody knows the so-called black man was the first man on the damn planet. Now you're gonna try to say that it was pale faces? Come on, get out of here now.
Genetics, simple genetics at that, man. I'm on dominant genes versus recessive genes. You people are genetically recessive. That meaning you can't be the original people, bro. I don't even know, like, we don't even have to get into when we go back to the root of it, you people are genetically recessive because most of you people that come in here talking about that we still in somebody else's culture is because it ain't your culture. You don't know what the fuck we talking about because it ain't your people we talking about. We talking about our people.
What's funny is that you showing the damn receipts. It's a damn book with page numbers and as an author. Dude isn't even willing to look it up. He's just like, bullshit.
That's ignorance at its finest, cause and it's willful ignorance, right? Because they could go look it up if they want to. They just choose not to, bro. They just get on here, spew insults. That's all he can do. He can't get up here on a panel and prove nothing that I'm saying was wrong, and he can't prove that he even indigenous. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, do believe everything Europe pushes. He's like, Europe, white man, Europe.
This guy said, "Is the art credible?" Hey man, go do the research. Find out if the art credible for yourself. I ain't on here
Yeah,
to argue about who the.
for
I
real.
did enough extensive research that this book is just confirming what the fuck I knew. You feel me?
Bro,
It ain't really.
that
It ain't something that I didn't know already, bro. Matter of
and
fact, if
bro,
I pull up this old Mayan book, it's gonna coincide with all of this, and it's gonna go deeper with the stars, man. Y'all gotta stop it.
you know what I was gonna say, bro? Is
What's that,
that
bro?
the information is out there, man. Like people has got to settle down and really go read and look at the shit. I mean, I'm not talking about modern day, and I'm not talking about modern day indoctrination teachings, like how they say watermelon comes from Africa. It really doesn't. The first original strand of watermelon comes from the Americas. It comes from here. I think it started in North Carolina.
Have because it say that it came really from Asia and shit. But even if they want to have it, y'all can have it. I ain't tripping off of that. You know how much other 75% of the food, the world food, come from the Americas. 75%. So only 25% come from the rest of the world. Cause we ain't tripping off no damn watermelon. Yeah, I love me some watermelon. You feel me? But I ain't tripping off of it, even though we
But
know
bro, you know how
it
you
was
know
mentioned biblically. And if it was
biblically, yeah,
mentioned biblically,
it says
it came
melons.
from
Yeah,
over
it
here.
says melons in the book. So it's like, what are we gonna do? Deny that we had melons here just because Africa wants to claim it? Hell no, we ain't denying our shit.
Yeah, man. Come on, bro.
And
All this shit
cotton,
are.
cotton by itself, bro, should tell them should tell everybody in the world that this is the old world. The fact that we have this rich fabric that's called white gold, you know what I'm saying, made America rich.
Exactly. Exactly. And we was growing that thousands of years, cause our people was so proficient with, I've been telling people, our people was so proficient with this shit that they dyed it while it was still on the plant, bro. Like
Bro,
they
you know
dyed the color of the
what's
cotton while it
missing
was still
is
on
that
the,
the
come on, you
fact
get it?
we clothe the damn world, yo. They wouldn't have Levi's if it wasn't for us, bro. We clothe the damn world.
Exactly. Exactly. And we was, and cotton wasn't the only thing we was rocking. We had all type of shit when they came over here. But they wanted, like we just read, they try to make it seem less of, so they feel like they get the right to conquer our shit or take our shit from us. Right. They try to make it seem like we wasn't here. They try to make it seem like our accomplishments wasn't what it was, even though when they came here, we already had elaborate structures everywhere, elaborate buildings, we had everything, bro.
And you know how it connects with the Bible too? You see the garment that this Indian is wearing? That garment is written in the Bible. You know, where you put fringes on with the ribbon of blue,
Uh,
all that. That's
yeah.
ceremonial gear, bro.
Exactly. And what he's smoking, tobacco, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's indigenous to here. Pipes. We invented pipes. That's what he's smoking. Matter of fact, pipes are specifically indigenous to North America. Cigars, which right there you can see is indigenous. Well, specific, all of it is indigenous to the Americas, but that's specifically for the islands that came from the Arawak people, and then the Mayan created cigarettes. And I think they might have created cigar. Let me look. It's up here. Might have created cigar too. But yeah, man, all of this shit ours. You feel me? Everything that he doing, like you said, he got the fringes on. Come
Yeah,
on, he
that's
clothed.
Israelite. That's an Israelite community. It means that he's of royal blood. It's that simple, but people don't read the scriptures to find out.
And even what he wearing on his head, people think that's a war bonnet, cuz that ain't no motherfucking war bonnet. That comes from the study of astronomy, bro. That comes from Kukulkan. That's come from Quetzalcoatl. You feel me? That comes from the divine serpent, the balance, divinity, the divine masculine and the divine feminine, bro. When they come together, that creates divinity. When a man and a woman comes together in union, that creates divinity, right? Come on, bro. All of this shit connects. And it's easy work for real, but I don't know how people can't see this shit. Like yeah.
Yeah. And what you were stating earlier, that the woman is the earth and the man would be the sky, that's true. That's even written in the Egyptology.
Exactly. And you know where that comes from?
Yeah,
Over
it comes
this
from the
bit. It
Bible.
comes from
Even
the
the Bible
mind.
calls the earth the woman, and it's a womb. So it is what it is. Thanks for the gifts.
Nah, and that's exactly right, bro. And the woman represents reproductivity. She represents the below. She represents the earth. She represents what's nourishment, right? That's what all of this shit, that's why it connects like that. Men lead the house. That's why he usually the chief, but the power comes through the woman. You feel me? So the power of the land is through the woman, but the man leads the charge. He the one on front lines and shit like that. You feel me? So
Hmm.
all this what I be saying when people see how this shit connects it's a perfect puzzle, man. It's a perfect puzzle.
Yeah, because you
Real
need
perfect.
rainwater to hit the earth in order for the earth to vegetate. So it's the
Uh,
same way how a man's seed hits the egg so it could like fertilize and make a baby. Same thing.
exactly. 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 That's exactly it, bro. And that's what our ancestral practices was. And it connected on every level from the microcosm to the macrocosm, to the little thing to the big thing, from everything, bro. Everything connects from the positive to the negative. Like we know who these people are. We know what they doing. We know how they connect to this. Well, they don't connect to this land, but we know how they connect in history and shit, and we know who they are. And even if you go into biblical terms, which I don't, you know what I mean. I'm just using that as a reference, right? But when you go into biblical terms, they are the people of Japheth, right? The usurpers who came in to try to take over Shimshit. You know what I'm talking about? So
For sure.
if If that's I don't really, what I mean, I ain't a Bible expert or nothing like that, because I understand that's
Nah,
I'm gonna
you
say a
dabble, man. I
perverted.
see you, man. You understand the Bible, bro. It's just that you don't push it.
Yeah. That's what it is. Cause I ain't gonna hold you. My dad was a whole bishop, bro. So I put him on. I taught like, he wasn't interested in knowing who he was. I'm the one that had to push the envelope. I'm the one that talked to my great grandparents. I'm the one that talked to my grandparents. I'm the one talking to the elders. I'm the one doing the genealogy. I'm showing them the records. I'm showing them that we had land, what tribes we connected to. So he made me the family historian. You feel me? Like that's an honor to me, because you feel me. I'm your son, bro, and I'm the family. So anybody in the family that need to know anything about us, I got it. I got the receipts, cuz.
Because you're doing the work. It's not easy, man. And people
Not
think
at all,
like,
bro.
oh, you dropping gems, but the secret is once you go back in a time where something was its foundation, then that's where the gem begins. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, and that's why I try to focus on the antiquity, like where everything started at. That's why a lot of times y'all see me push all this Maya information, because a lot of this shit connects to, and then my tribe is connected to it. If y'all know about the Creek legend migration, um, then you'll know that some Creek tribe, not every Creek tribe is in from the mines. Some Creek tribes, the ones from Alabama and Georgia area, so like on the tip of it over there. But yeah, but all this shit connects, bro. That's why I push the mind. All this shit connects, bro. That's why I push the mind shit, because it all connects. Even when you see all these other mythologies around the world or spiritualities, a lot of this shit came from our ancient knowledge. You feel me? So, and which comes
Yeah.
from the study of the stars.
I even think that whole Buddha thing comes from here too. Like they found
It
that
do.
Buddha in the Grand Canyon, and that shit is like super old.
Nah, it do. Buddha mother name was Maya.
Yeah. So
Buddha,
come on now.
Buddha, literally. You feel me? They come from here. And that's another, like once you read a lot of these older stories, like definitely with the Mayans, because the Mayans was known to go out and travel and teach people, give certain cultures the knowledge. That's what they got, like that Hindu thing they got going over there. It ain't supposedly. I don't know. I ain't studied Hindu, so I don't know how deep high it go. But I know it's a perverted version of the ancient Mayan knowledge, right? Because they got a whole bunch of different deities, but with the ancient Mayan knowledge, it's not a whole bunch of different gods people think it is. It's just different representation of the supreme creator, right? And that's all it is. And the supreme creator is divinity, balance. When we come together as a man and a woman, it wasn't one or the other. You need both to create life. You feel me? So that's how that shit rock. Oh, somebody help me guess.
Yeah. Oh, you know what I wanted to talk about too? You remember that first picture you put up on the live with the dollar?
Yeah, let me put that back
Um,
up for you.
yeah. When I put that shit up and I was doing classes on it, these fucking Pan Africans lost their minds. You know, Suiton and Port City, they were doing videos on it talking about they were slaves. I'm like, yo, look at these people. They don't got no rips, no tears, no nothing.
Nah, man, they don't understand what really was going on, what was really happening. Hold on, bro. I'm gonna do something quick.
And what's crazy, back in those days, it was the banks that cheated them out of their land. This was their land, right? So they were tilling their land. Yeah.
No, go ahead, bro. I'm listening.
Yeah, I was just gonna say like they were tilling their land. These were sharecroppers. Share Sharecroppers just means like you pretty much can live off the land if you work. That's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
and a lot, and then, but a lot of people don't understand. We own the land, and we the one that was not only giving, like, renting the land to our other people, and
To
like
our
big
family
piece of
members.
land, right? We was doing it to other foreigners that was to see, and then overstand of what things that was happening. You got to understand the laws that was getting passed, the wars that was going on, everything, bro. And for different areas, different things was happening. So you can't make everything a conglomerate because the U.S. the crackers, they ain't have all the areas that they said they had at certain times, bro. They didn't have it. So they didn't have it all together. None of that. They couldn't do census records on a lot of areas because they couldn't go into these areas because we was doing them in. You feel me? So yeah, bro. Who this? Who this? Who this?
Yo, what's up, CS? Welcome to the live.
Yeah, what it do, bro? I seen you in the comments. Salute, salute. You wanted to add something to the live? I don't know, cuz no, he on the panel.
I didn't even know I was on, man. I'm at work. I must have hit it by
Yeah.
mistake. I'm just listening to y'all brothers and
no,
learning, man. I'm sorry about
no,
that.
you good, bro. You good, bro. I just said that too. I was like, I don't even know you know he on.
I just
Yeah,
heard
it's all.
CS. I had to look at my phone and said, oh, shoot. I'm sorry, man.
Nah, you good, bro. It's all love. I'm gonna drop you back down.
All right.
All right, welcome to the panel. I am Jacques. What's going on, man? What's your who are you? Where you're from? Like, what's your ethnicity? Introduce yourself. I don't know if he know he on the panel. Cub might not.
Nah,
Yeah,
they
he
probably they probably
he
hit the button by accident.
yeah, he probably sleep or some shit. But it sound like he's snoring.
Shit, man. Yo, the work is not easy, bro, but I commend you on your work, man. I always watch your videos. I'm always learning something, so you know.
Yeah, man. You know, and likewise, bro. We all that's what we here for, bro. And everybody brings something different to the table. You feel me? So that's what we gotta do. Just keep stepping on their neck with the truth, cause none of them can debunk none of this shit. Why is you talking about no, Africa is the motherland, but everything of value starts here. Agriculture starts here. What the fuck was y'all eating? what the fuck was y'all eating over there? Each other? What the fuck going on?
Yeah, and when you look up, like, let's say corn in modern day context, right? They're gonna say, "Oh, corn, written in the Bible, is an old world crop from the Middle East," which is bullshit because they can't even produce the level and the amount of grain that the America produces, whether it be barley, wheat, whatever it is. That Middle East cannot produce the level of what we push out here.
Yeah, and man, and then if you're gonna say that, what about the other fruits and vegetables and everything else that was mentioned in the Bible? You just going even if you try to go with that, it just meant a grain back then. Like if you try to go back to the etymology and some shit like that in biblical terms, because it actually was mentioned in two different ways from my knowledge in the Bible. So corn was actually definitely mentioned in there, but at another time they did refer to a different grain as corn too. So
Yep.
yeah, so I did a, you know, I had mad pages, bro. I had did a video on that shit breaking it down, but I don't know if I probably let me try to look on one of my
Yeah,
old pages.
because
Probably still up.
corn in the Hebrew, the real word is shabar, and then the word for grain is dagan. And then the word for wheat is kata. So it's like all these different dissection of grain, right? But when it comes to corn, oh, disregard because it's not in the Middle East. Well, you fucking made up the Middle East.
Yeah, no. And then how you if you saying all that shit? How you going to explain the fucking corn that's on the fucking walls and shit, man? What are we talking about? How you going to explain that? Because this shit was supposedly mentioned in the Bible, right? So how you going to explain the corn that's on the wall, bro? It shows it depicts it in all these ancient so-called mythologies and shit. It mentions it. It shows it, bro. It depicts
Yeah.
it. So come
And I
on,
got
man.
to say this, how you know it is actually the corn of today that we all know to be corn is because this corn is so special. Fishes eat this thing, birds eat this thing, Livestock eat this thing. Humans eat this thing. So many span of species eats this that they can't deny this shit.
Exactly. And then they don't understand agriculture because all of this shit goes back to fucking agriculture, right? And corn, as we know it, started as tessonite, right? So in which we invented seed selection, which produced the corn that we know of today, right? The corn that they seen much later, but they don't have the depictions of tessonite over there. Even if they do, that mean it came from the Americas, bro. You feel me? So y'all got y'all shit from the Americas, and I think y'all just did an okie doke and just start putting shit different places. To be real, because when we seen how they put together the so-called Egypt and Africa, it's a whole video how they moving shit around, taking shit. Like, how the fuck you talking about because there's a flood? Man, get the fuck out. How you just move Egypt? How the fuck you just how the fuck you
Yo, I
just
seen the
move?
video. And what's crazy is that the more you research, you discover that there was no hieroglyphs inside of these damn pyramids. And it made sense because it's like, how the fuck is Egypt gonna put Egyptian hieroglyphs before Egypt was Egypt? You get me?
Exactly.
Like the name
Come on.
Egypt wasn't there, but the pyramid was there.
Oh,
So it
and you
doesn't
know,
make any sense.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And they taking all, they taking all that shit from over here and putting, it's, bro, I've been looking for this movie. This is one movie, bro. It's a old ass movie. I think it came out like, it came out, had to be, it was in color though. So it should have old ass movie, but it basically was how, it was telling how France, really Napoleon, you feel me? He designed and they put together. They made Egypt there. They made different river. It was a bam, bro. I can't remember the movie. I can't find that shit. But once I do, I'm gonna put that shit out, bro, because that shit explains everything, bro. I just can't find a movie. It's an old ass movie, bro. I seen that shit. I remember seeing it. It was talking about how the French, they was mapping out the map. They had a whole, you know what I mean, a whole meeting and saying how they was going to make whatever river have different parts to make it like the Bible. You feel me? Come on, bro. Replicate the
Bro,
Bible.
have you seen this picture, like this mural before? I know it's not really clear, but have you seen this Egyptian mural before?
I think
It's
that's what Osiris and what's the name holding
no, sorry.
Horus.
I think it's Tutankhamun holding
Oh,
his son.
oh no, I ain't see this.
I mean, not Tutankhamun. Who's
King Tut.
uh, nah, not King. King Tut
Oh
was his son, but what's his father? What was his father's name?
shit, I don't remember.
Akhenaten.
Akhenaten. Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
I
Akhenaten. That's
don't
Akhenaten, his wife, and that's the son on the lap, right? This mural is actually from the Grand Canyon. There is no such mural in Egypt like this.
yo,
Every
that's
time when you
why.
see this picture on TV and shit, this is from the Grand Canyon.
Man, come on, bro. They can't fuck with what are they gonna say about this shit, bro? Why is they all of our? He talking about no, it's not. Man, get the proof it's not. Fuck out of here. Y'all always talking about no, it's not, but y'all have no proof. Why is everything the oldest everything being found over here, bro? They're old as everything. The food, the supply of the water in the world, 45% of the world's freshwater resources, bro. And Africa only holds 9. If Africa was the fucking motherland. Y'all gotta make shit make sense, man.
Yeah, me too, Paul. I've been to the Grand Canyon myself too. It's Grand Canyon used to be flooded with water. They had the Red Sea over there.
I was about to say you can tell from how the shit on the walls is. Like it looked like it was water there at one point in time,
Yeah,
bro.
water erosion. Yeah, you could see it clearly. And then the way how the pyramids in the middle is built, it's like they built a pyramid in the middle of the ocean. Like, you know what I'm saying? The way how they set it up. And then when they drained it, it just looks like rocks in the middle. You feel me?
Yeah, I ain't gonna hold you. I did some research on the Grand Canyon, but I ain't go there personally yet. But I'm gonna definitely make a trip there for shit show to see. But I know they saying they blocking off what the most important parts of it.
Bro, at the base of the Grand Canyon, they found chariots, they found bones of horses, Egyptian spears, all this type of shit. So that means that that's the site, bro. That's the site that Moses crossed over. You feel me?
Yeah. Wait, hold on. You said that was the Red. I thought the Red Sea was right there in between Cali. Like it used to be.
Yeah,
Matter of
yeah,
fact,
yeah. Yeah, that's it.
yeah.
That the
Okay,
Grand
okay, okay.
Canyon
That's the
is
same.
right there in the same area.
I bet that makes
And the
sense.
Colorado River, which means the color red, runs right through the Grand Canyon. So if you let all the water flow back in, you have the Red Sea again.
That's fire. I didn't even know it connected like that. I knew about the Red Sea being right there, but I didn't know. Yeah, that's
Bro,
fire,
they
bro.
just use words to cover up shit, bro. Colorado, the color red. And then you have what'd you call that river? Rio Grande. That used to be the Euphrates. Like, cause in the Bible it says the great river, the river Euphrates. Rio Grande simply means the great river. And it's a wide river when it was mad water flowing in. It's drying up now though.
Right, and then do that like because I know you was one of the ones that was kind of lining up the geographical like locations as far as in the time distance from different other
Yeah.
geographical locations that's placed in the Americas, right? So do that line up with the Mississippi being the now and how far it's supposed to be from like
It's
Euphrates?
100% the Nile. The
Uh,
Mississippi, Missouri is the
but I'm
longest
saying
river in the
do
whole
it
world.
do it do it run like geographically congruent with the
With the Bible.
Euphrates, like how you be breaking it down and
Yeah,
shit. Oh,
bro,
that's fire.
bro,
That's
it
fire.
matches up perfectly because the Euphrates is supposed to be where the Fertile Crescent is, right? So where's the crescent? The crescent is by the Yucatan, where the Florida Peninsula is, all the way to where, the Yucatan is.
Yo,
That's the crescent. So the river, the Euphrates, has to be right there.
yo. Yeah, I'm gonna do some research on that shit, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, the Rio Grande. And then, Utah used to be ancient Israel. All
Yeah,
this
I
shit
heard
is
of that.
just, it makes sense now.
Mount what's that called? Damn, Nimitz. What's the
Mount
mountain?
Whitney used to be Mount Sinai.
What's the other one? It started with an N though.
Nebo, Mount Nebo.
Nevo.
Yeah,
Not is
that's
it
where
Nevo?
that's where the Ark of the Covenant was buried. Yeah, Mount Nebo.
Yeah, that's it. Yep, that's it. Yep, yeah, that's it. So where is that? Right? That's in Utah,
Nebraska. I
ain't it?
know, yeah, it's in
Nebraska,
Nevada.
Nevada. Okay. And then I already seen how you broke down. And I seen a couple other creators. They broke down how it lines up, like walking distance and the time it takes to get to one place and the other shit. Yeah, the shit was fire. Yeah, yeah, for sure, bro.
Yeah, like
Every
okay, like in fake Israel and Egypt, that place is too small to be wandering around for 40 years. You can make it from Israel into Egypt in less than like a couple days, bro.
Yeah,
You
and,
feel me?
and that's another thing. Yo, no, go ahead. What you were saying, bro?
But no, that's pretty much it, bro. Like they lied so hard. The land is too tiny to be this great landmass.
Exactly. Like our states is bigger than all these fucking European countries. All that. Come on, man. Y'all shit is close as fuck to each other. Y'all be making it seem. And when they tell a story, like growing up, you know what I mean? When you getting indoctrinated with the history and shit, you think this some vast ass, because you ain't traveled there yet. And you know what I mean? We being indoctrinated with the history, you think it's some vast ass land and shit. But come to find out, America's United States is bigger than all the fucking Europe. Come on, man. Y'all ain't even, our states
Bro,
is
the
bigger than five
Americas,
of y'all countries and shit.
yeah, and the Americas is bigger than Africa, bro. Like this, it's so crazy. Like, how did they dupe us like this? You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm at right now. It's like, how did they dupe us?
Shit, I got a couple ways. Thinking, but like once you remove, so I think it's kind of it kind of goes in like when once you remove or you remove your people like from your knowledge or make them too afraid to teach it. and scared. Like, I don't know, bro. I can't even. I know how they did it, but like I know what they did. I just, you feel me? I ain't got the exact answer. I just got a couple of theories, man. I got a couple of theories on how they did this shit, yo. But
But it's all of the above because it's a little bit of everything. Like Andrew Jackson kidnapping kids. When you remember when he had that Seminole War, he would go around the
yeah,
warriors, kidnap the kids, and then start to indoctrinate them.
exactly. That's what they did from the beginning, though. That's what they did from the beginning when they came in over here to our shores. That's what they like. So they basically came out with flowers in one hand or religion in one hand, right, and the sword behind they try to. A lot of times, when they knew they couldn't, they didn't have the manpower or brute force. They'll set up monitor. What's the shit called? Missions and shit, right? They'll set up missions in certain vicinities where they laid claim to, right? They ran out some of the indigenous people of that area and then set up missions and then kidnap, or let me safe,
Yeah.
safe thing. You know what I'm talking about? Take away the kids, them and make them. Not only that, they'll teach them. They'll teach them their language. They'll teach them and make them be the translator to be able to indoctrinate everybody else fast. You feel
Yeah.
me?
Let me answer Paul's question. He's right. And America purchased it because of the natives that, and they had to pay Russia back, so they bought that land from Russia as payment.
I think it was 1865, right?
1867.
But yeah, and that's
Yeah,
how when a lot of them start coming down here. A lot of them Siberian, or them, you know what I mean?
yeah. There you go, right there at that time period too.
Exactly.
Then, yeah, then he wanted to know about Rome and Italy. Rome was uh, Chicago. Rome was Chicago, right? Fuck, this is not even. I'm not even making it up. You can just look it up for
No,
yourself.
I who?
No, I'm
Nah, I
talking to
know
him.
you ain't. Oh, okay. See, I know you ain't making it
I'm talking to him.
up.
Yeah.
What else he said? Is everything in America? Then where did they come from?
Who's they,
So
by the way?
where did they come to here from? They came from here from where they most of them at right now. What? And then that's another thing too. People don't be taking into account. They be like, yeah, shit don't add up, bro. Why we outnumber so-called quote unquote these natives by tens of millions? You feel me? As indigenous American, just in the mainland, not even in the ones that have connection, like as genetic, like with our not geographic, our genealogy connected to North America. Not even counting all of our brothers and sisters from the islands. You feel me? That's here right now. You feel me? Come on, bro. We outnumber you by tens of millions. Where? How do we do that, bro? How did that happen? It's cap. It don't make sense if you say you was some great warrior. Who is Cug? He trying to come back up for real? Type in the chat if you trying to come back up. See ya. Oh no, you just type in the chat. All right, bet I'm gonna let you up. Had to make sure, bro.
Yeah.
How I do this shit? Guess right here. What you say, Cug? Yeah. I'm gonna drop it, bro. Shit, hit the button again. Put it on the big screen, bro.
Yeah, I got it. Okay, so here's this is from a book by Silver Fox, right? It's talking about revealing America's dark-skinned past. This shows you how we were here in big numbers, like 30,000 to 500 Spaniards, 2,000. You know what I'm saying? Like we were here in major numbers. So, and this is in the 1500s. So this is before 1619. So you remember the narrative starts from 1619. They began 1619, the ship, Jesus, and all this other bullshit, right? So this is before that time, and Negroes was in America in big fucking numbers, bro.
You right, bro. You right, and that's the same. Hold on, let me trying to find something. But nah, keep building, bro. Nah, you saying I was about to try to find something that kind of build on that because what's the guy name? Let me find it right quick. Hold on. I did a little excerpt on him.
Yeah, I want to read the whole thing, so I gotta find my other phone that has the whole. You know what I'm saying? So I can see it very clearly. I don't want to miss any words up. Hang on, let me find my other phone so I can read it out to everybody that's in the live. Y'all tap the screen, share the live. This is a hell of a live, by the way. The information that you brought out earlier is fire, bro.
Appreciate it, bro. I'm gonna share. I'm gonna probably download this live and make a video out of it, something because this is definitely fire. Cause I ain't gonna hold you, man. You got me about to do the research on the on the biblical, yeah, for sure. Cause I've been doing it. You feel me? Like how it overlaid with other research you doing. You feel me? But I ain't never really get into that. Like my other focus was, other things. So I kind of, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I always felt like you knew the scriptures because you were always one of them that never fought. You know what I'm saying? You never pushed back. You always like, oh, okay, I see what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, nah, I'm a student, bro. First, you feel me? Like I know, I've been doing my work speak for itself. You feel me? If people don't know me over the years, you feel me? It is what it is. But like my work speak for itself. But at the same time, I'm a student, so I can always, and even if I don't know it, like I'm not gonna be taking people off of face value. Even if I fuck with you heavy and I know you be talking, but I'm the type of person I'm gonna go do the research myself so I can be like, oh yeah, even though I know you building, I know you know what you're talking about, but I'm gonna make sure I know what you're talking about. You feel
Yeah,
me?
you got to know a little bit about, especially if you're going to push a little something on it. You got to know a little bit about what you're talking about. All right, so I found it. All right, so this is the book revealing America's dark skin past. It says in the early 1560s, a Spanish official wrote to a king that in the island of Puerto Rico there are above 15,000 Negroes and less than 500 Spaniards, and in all of Hispaniola there may be 2,000 Spaniards, and there are over 30,000 Negroes. The same is the case in the island of Cuba and Veracruz, Porta de Caballos, which is in Honduras, and in Nombre de Dios, Cartagena, Santa Maria, and coast of Venezuela. I said Costa. Where there are 20 Negroes to one white man. Now, this goes into breaking down what Negro means. Negro was a terminology that defined a person of dark complexion. The term Negro, or its equivalent, was not used for race, a concept that in the early 1500s had not yet developed, or for a single stock of people, or to point to ancestry or ethnicity. It was usually a single description for perceived color or appearance, and Negro was one of many terminologies that was used to define the indigenous inhabitants of North America.
Exactly, fire. Yeah, come on, bro. And then what's cuz name? Hold on, I'm about to.
Well, it's a book I was sitting here reading while y'all was talking. But what you just said, here go a book if y'all want to go cop it.
What's that? What's the book called?
It's called The American Negro Slave Revolts. American Negro Slave Revolts.
Right.
Notice it don't got nothing to do with Africa. It's a real good read. It talk about all this shit. My bad. All the stuff we put them through to get the land back and we was banging back on them.
And that bitch say, and I'm gonna do some more. I'm gonna do a thing on that. I'm gonna divide. I'm gonna doge deep into Nat Turner too. But I'm definitely gonna look that up. But I'm gonna doge because I heard Nat Turner. He might not be a real person. That's what Dane Calloway ass said years ago. I think he said that shit.
Yeah,
Some
that's what
shit.
they was saying, but
I never looked into it to even because to
and
me I was focused on genealogy
I
and ancient
well, in
I
history.
this
heard
book,
what's her name too was fake Harriet Tubman.
Harriet
yeah,
Tubman.
Harriet Tubman, yeah, supposed to be Rosamund Bay.
Yeah, and I think she was on a video. Wasn't man? It was an old ass video of some lady in the Underground Railroad, and she was saying like she's a conductor of an actual train, bro. Like she wasn't like she was an actual
Yeah,
conductor
she
of a
wrote
train.
in her
Yeah,
own account. She said that she was a conductor of the train.
it's another
And it
old
was an
spot.
actual. It wasn't, and that's why it's railroads underground. Them shits ain't just get built like that. Them shits been there.
Yeah,
Come on, bro.
I'm just saying, y'all was talking about that Bible. I was listening while y'all was talking, but if you want to get a good idea who they talking about, it's another good book.
Oh yeah, I already.
Yeah. Also,
I know all.
Montezino's accounts. Montezino talks about how he met Hebrew speaking people here, how he could understand them and shit.
Yep. And that goes back to South America. Yep. Like
No,
yep.
but it was
It
Paleo
worked.
Hebrew
It's in my book. In this
in
book I
North
got right here,
America
bro.
and South America. In
Yeah,
fact,
yeah, we
the
agree.
Algonquian is Hebrew speaking people.
The Eastern Algonquin. Yeah, it's the
Right.
Eastern Algonquin specifically, not all them other
Right, the
motherfuckers.
eastern ones over here where I'm at, like East Coast, East Coast. So
Yeah.
yeah. But, I mean it's hard for a lot of
Nah,
people.
I was about to say too on what you were saying, David. Is this guy Mexican? Let me put him on the screen. Matter of fact, hold on. I'm gonna do this shit. All right, so him right here. I know y'all seen him before, right? Carlos Cuervo Marquez. He was an ethnologist, a
It's
botanist.
up on the big screen, bro.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
put it up a big screen, man.
my bad. I ain't even looking at the screen, bro. I'm looking at my screen, the computer and shit. Hold on. All right, bet. All right, so this is Carlos Cuervo Marquez, right? He was an ethnologist, a botanist, a military general, and a historian, right? His account was he said the Negro type is seen in the most ancient Mexican sculpture. The Negro's figure frequently in the most remote traditions of some American pueblos. It is to this race doubtlessly the most ancient skeletons distinct from the red American race, which have been found in various places from Bolivia to Mexico. It is likely that we repeat, America was a Negro continent. You feel me? I got the actual book that he wrote this in. It's in all Spanish though, so you gotta have it
I brought that out
translated.
a long time ago. You brought back
Exactly.
memories. I think, yeah, I lost my phone that had that too, so I took a screenshot of this.
Yeah, I don't even know. When I first started doing this research, but you know how we be going at these Mexicans and fucking fake ass
Oh yeah, yeah,
niggas.
yeah. So yeah, that's a good sword to have in your arsenal.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
talking
I
about?
don't like that.
Yeah, bro. And this is they
Crazy
people.
is
This one
that
of
he's a
them.
Caucasoid saying it too. That's crazy.
Exactly. Come on, bro. Y'all gotta stop the noise. Hold on.
And
And
that's
cause
what I see us as. I see us as like firemen putting out the fire. Like that's cap. Because if we didn't do it, be honest with you, Chief, who would? Like there's a few people on TikTok that I could count that's doing the work, man. Like there's not too many. You know what I'm saying? And we pushing this shit through. That's why the scripture says, blessed are those who endure till the end. Like we faced a lot of heat. You know what I'm saying?
for real. They don't know, bro. Like when we first came on it, bro, everybody was, come on, cause we had to fight. I ain't never had to fight for my life because I still don't want to stand for. But we had to go at everybody. You feel me? We were stepping on everything. Everybody, you feel me? We were stepping on everything
Bro,
moving.
my page was rising so fast, they like, we got to take them down. And they took me down for no
Exactly.
reason.
I think they took me down for a reason, but shit, it don't matter. They took me. I ain't
Now,
gonna
I
hold you.
mean, all I needed was a
Yo,
taste of it, and I'll get it back. Look how quick I came back from. You know what I'm saying? As soon as they took it down, in like 2 weeks, I already got 2K. So that's not bad.
yeah, nah, bro. You be moving, bro. Like I ain't gonna hold you. They kicked me shadow ban after that one page got to like 20,000. It was like
I
no more
remember
for
too,
you.
bro. It was like all of us. We were all around the same for a while, and then boom, started picking up. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah,
remember they
they
took you down, they took me down, they took everybody down.
everybody. Yeah, my boy. With D Truth. They was taking everybody's shit.
Yeah,
Real.
these truth was on the rise too, man. I remember those days, bro.
Yeah, bro. I remember all. Cause I ain't gonna hold you. I remember everybody. Like I remember everything. I remember what people used to stand for when they first came on the app. But
Me
you feel
too.
me? I see everybody progression. I see where they stand now, and it's only right. Once you do your genealogy, that's what you was supposed to stand on. You feel me? But I remember people that's big in the American Indian community wasn't. You know what I mean? They was a little bit of everything. You feel me? But they came around and did their shit, and you feel me? It's a lot of people. There's a lot of
Bro,
people
we
that was
can't be we can't be lukewarm. Maybe we're African. Yo, if you ain't find no African, then we ain't no fucking African.
exactly. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Where is that, bro? Where he at? Where she at? Fuck.
It's hard for them to understand that, man.
Like y'all ain't got no
It
shit
it ain't
manifest.
no
You
big
can't
deal, bro.
name
If
them.
you and even if you got a little mixture, right? It ain't no big deal, bro. You know what I'm
It
saying?
ain't, man. That's
A
what
little
I was
mixture
on
ain't
live
gonna kick
earlier.
you out of the tribe.
Exactly. I was on live earlier telling people, bro, like I respect people that's thorough, bro. You ain't lying about who you is, bro. Like even if you got a mixture, bro, oh well, you can't help that shit. You just honoring your ancestors, honor all your ancestors. Don't pick and choose who you want to honor just because they was on some fuck shit. Maybe you ain't fucking with them. You ain't gotta fuck with them. Let me mess with them. Let me get my language right. You ain't gotta mess with them if you don't want to. But at the same time, don't disown them. Don't be like, oh, that ain't my ancestor if it is. You feel me? You gotta, even if you find a European on that bed, if you find a Asian or a Spanish, whoever the fuck
But
you find on there, you
that's
gotta
also
honor them.
biblical too, Chief. Like how it says that we would be all over the earth. You know what I'm saying? So that makes sense. It makes sense like how we were governed in Europe. It was like, okay, we had freedom to run over the earth, to rule over the earth. Then the Lord took it away. You know what I'm saying? We had to come
It's,
back to the motherland.
it's a lot. Like, and for the people that connect, like, because everybody's story is different. You feel me? So everybody, like, once you do your genealogy, you'll see that you'll be like, oh, my story matches similar to yours, but my story might be a lot different from yours, even though we still the same people. But our families and our lineages and our tribes went through different things depending on who you is. You feel me? Even though we connected in a grand tier things, but when it comes down to who you are and your personal story, you gotta stand on that, bro. And it don't
Yeah.
matter if you mix with a op. You feel me? Your people might been forced mixed. You feel me? You might have. You know what I'm saying? It might have not been a. You know what I'm saying?
And bro, when you think of like how methodically they did it, right? Like how they did South America first, like the boom, the Spaniards and you know what I'm saying? Everybody just divided up the land masses. You know what I'm saying? This is Mexico. Boom. This is the United States. Boom. You know what I'm saying? The way how they divided and separated everything, it made it easy because America was so big. So they had to do the divide and conquer, bro.
Even on a smaller because with the Spaniards and the Portuguese, they was the first ones to reach the Americas, right? As far as in them Europeans that was coming over here, right? But even with them, they never touch. Well, I'm not gonna say all Spaniards because we know Florida was named. We know that, but as far as in Christopher Columbus, he never touched foot in North America. You feel me? But
Mm-mm.
other Spaniard colonists did. But
Yeah, I think in his
Spain was
last journeys he went to South America. That's about it.
Yeah, he went to what's that? Colombia.
Colombia.
Yeah, yeah. But even with that, like they did a divide and conquer thing from the root of it, bro. They didn't just come in and smash and stuff. Like they tried that, then they got whooped. You feel me? So they start clicking up with certain tribes that wasn't cool with other
It
tribes
was
and
the
made them
church who
go
first.
with other
It
tribes
was
and
the
made them
church who
go.
first tried to do it. The Crusades.
Yeah, the
Because when you
and all
consider
that.
the time period before colonialism, who was here? The Spaniards and the Dutch and the Portuguese. You know what I'm saying?
Uh uh Only the Spanish
Well, the
and the
Spanish was first. That's
Nah,
what I
nah,
gave
nah,
it in
nah. The Dutch and the
the right order.
Portuguese, yeah, it was
The
here.
Portuguese came by way of the Spanish,
Yeah,
but it was Genghis Khan in them because the Great Khan had ruled Hispaniola, which is Cuba.
yeah. All right. So you starting from
Nah,
the
well,
1200s.
I was about to say, yeah, that's on the West Coast. That's on the. I mean, all of it's
Now,
part of the Americas, but
Cuba over here
Genghis
on
Khan,
our
he came
side,
through the
though.
Pacific, huh?
Cuba over here on our side, though.
Yeah, Cuba over here on our side, but Genghis Khan and he came through the West. He came to California, Peru.
Right, Genghis Khan and them had
He
ruled the world
yeah,
for a
but that
minute.
was 12. That was in the 1200s, 1300s. You feel me? And it
Uh-huh.
wasn't even really him. It was his grandson that he sent over this bit.
And who
You
came
feel me?
to America in the 1300s? The
Yeah, they came.
Europeans.
Nah, not in 1300.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
the
down in
Spanish.
South America, the Inca Empire, Quintus Carlos and them. They
Oh,
was
with the Spanish.
marrying into the princesses down there,
It
making
was the
babies.
Spanish, yeah, that came over there in South America and all that. There was a lot going on at that time, man. Like we got to remember, there's history before the history that they tell us.
Yeah, and that's how they married into and took royalty and took the land, bro. They exactly how y'all just said with the Inca. Yeah, no, y'all
And
right.
transferred everything over to, or tried to tie the vine and transferred a lot of it over there.
Bro,
or take
I've
our
been
women.
looking
You
in
feel me? Who
because
have
you know, like
power?
how my bad, go ahead, bro.
No, no, I was just saying that they try to marry to our tribes and take our women, who held the power in our land, because real American Indians like us, we were mostly matriarchal societies. You feel me? So the women held the power as far as in land power. You feel me? So the land was coming through the women, and the men, we kind of led the tribe as far as in on the front line, even though we did console our matriarchals and our women that
It's true.
that,
Like
that was
whenever
wise.
like any conquering would happen throughout history, what would they do? They would unalive the men
Take
and
the
take the
women.
woman.
So or move, or like with us, the more thing they did,
Some
like they
men get
wasn't just
capped,
they
some
wasn't. I
get
was about to say
converted
they was
and
unliving
assimilated.
some of our a lot of our people, but they didn't just do that. They moved us around because they wanted to keep us to mine and you know what I mean, to enslave us as prisoners of war. They wanted the precious minerals and everything over here, so they put us in mines and all type of shit, bro. Before they tried to talk about agriculture, because you remember they don't know nothing about that shit. You feel me? We talking about that.
You know what? I got a
Yeah,
book I know y'all don't got. I'm gonna show it real quick.
but it makes sense though, Chief, because you're not gonna tell me somebody coming from a cold climate that's scientifically known to come from a cold climate is gonna tell tropical people how to cultivate.
They don't know nothing about that. Even
Exactly.
even even if, because I don't know. I mean, I don't know cause I know
A lot
Africa's
of
supposed to be the
information
last
in there
land that
retarded.
got filled or whatever. But even in the other tropical places around the world, they wasn't cultivating like we started that shit. Yeah, they started afterwards, but they wasn't doing like a
Nah,
lot
come
of
on,
those
let's keep
crops
it
wasn't
real.
even
Let's
there.
keep it real. You got to be by the equator to have any type of like nice, good, lush cultivation, bro. These
Yeah,
people are
and
not from no damn equator, bro.
no,
Nah,
no, fuck, no, definitely not the Europeans. Nah, none of them really. That's what I'm saying. None of them really knew about the cultivation, the practice of agriculture. That's actually a practice, bro. That's something that, like we just read, that took thousands of years for some people to learn. You feel me? But even though I feel like that's cat, like our people, we're pretty, intelligent. So I'm pretty sure that we was practicing cultivation a lot sooner than thousands of years, but that was came with studying the stars and shit. You feel me? Knowing when to cultivate, understanding the solstices and equinoxes, understanding when to plant, when to harvest, and all of that shit. You feel me?
Yo, I ain't going front, man. The stars is such a banger, bro. Like, I don't know if people are woke yet to it, but the stars tell you where the fuck we are. Like, we are in the promised land. That's how wild
Yeah.
the stars are, bro.
Exactly, bro. Exactly, man. That's what even when it comes to like the I would be showing the calendar solstices. You feel me? The swastika calendar that's from ancient America, Mesoamerica.
Like Chief, the stars above us is written in the Bible. Like, you understand like how superstar status that is?
Everything, bro. It's written. Are these stars written everywhere, even with these
Yeah,
mythological
the Greek
figures
stars
and all of
right
that?
above us.
These,
Yeah, Osiris.
come on, these are
If you want to,
stars, bro. These ain't
yeah, if
people. A lot of these are stars, man.
yeah,
These are
if you want to
stars, bro.
take it to Greek mythology, you could with Osiris. If you want to take it to Egyptology, you could with what's his name?
All of them.
Uh,
Osiris, you feel me?
uh,
Who turned in to the land of the like? I did a breakdown on that with the golden jaguar scepter. You feel me on how all of that connects? But yeah, bro, nah, all of this shit connects, even with their mythological figures, bro, with their
yeah,
mythological
Orion,
animals.
Osiris, yeah, the same shit. That's what I'm saying. Like, this shit is over when people discover the shit. Like, all you got to do is look up. Yeah, that's it.
Exactly, bro. Exactly, and everything connects, bro. Every fucking thing connects. Once you know the stars right here, then you know all these other things that's supposed to be religions, because all of that is like, to me personally, like perverted versions of our ancient ancestral
Yeah,
knowledge, which
and,
was
and
astronomy.
and we know Alexander the Great was here because of the whole star system and shit. Like, we got all this Greco-Roman columns. You mean to tell me we were inspired by Greece, but Greece wasn't here?
Well, Alexander the Great built that causeway down there by the Panama Canal.
Yeah, right there,
That's why
right
they
here
went
in the
and
America.
bombed.
He
That's why
died.
when they fought,
He
had that
he.
situation down in South America, because I'm an
Check this
'80s
out.
baby.
He was unalived in what they call Babylonia, but I think it's he died in South America.
Well, check
His
this
body.
out. You gotta understand this. I'm an '80s baby. I grew up with them children. When they had them wars and stuff down in Panama, Nicaragua, Belize, and all that, America so-called going against whatever they was doing at that time. They only killed the parents and the grandparents. It was nothing but children for like this real talk, yo. It was children for like 20 years, bruh. Their parents and everybody was gone, yo. They literally went down there and did that on purpose because they understood the people that was left over. So if you know that Alexander the Great was over here, right? What about the Macedonians? So people in Panama would be considered Macedonians then. See what I'm saying? Like someone understands
Yeah, I
y'all
don't put it.
lineage and y'all
Yeah,
blood
I
and walked it and mapped
yeah,
it out.
I don't put it past him because he was known to like conquer tribes, and then the tribes would fight in his army.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
yeah, that's how Rome even rolled and built up. They didn't just everybody just didn't kill everybody, you know.
I mean, unalive, bro, unalive.
Oh, my bad. Unalive,
You
unalive,
good.
unalive. My bad. Entertainment purposes only. TikTok.
Yeah, all that good stuff. Everybody
Yeah,
tap the screen for me.
yeah.
Put
Hit the screen,
safe
man.
space in the comment, all that good love and all that. You know what I mean?
It was crazy, man. How you gotta like talk
Censor
like
ourselves, bro. This shit,
yeah.
yeah.
Ah, but that's real talk. King Juba and them, and they children was in Illinois. A lot of this has been recorded. They just don't want
Yeah,
to
I
talk about it.
believe, and this is my honest to God truth. I believe the so-called Negro, Black, whatever, Indian, we are the royal people, man. Like the real royals that ran across the
For
world and was
sure.
governing. I think that's what happened here, and we're
I mean,
recognizing that some shit happened.
What you got? The
it
American
it's
League?
evident, but it's evident that we, because look at us, bro. Look at us today, bro. Look at what we're doing. Like how many of us it is that influence the whole world, bro. Like all of our cultures, bro. We people think we just a monolithic people. Nah, that's what make us so great. We got all different type of cultures and all influence the world, bro. From our inventions, from our science, from agriculture, from our actual hip hop, from our you know what I mean, from our music genre. It don't matter what we do, cause we always shine, bro. Even they mimic our they mimic our game because they mimic our lower selves. You feel me? Our you know feel me? They remember they mimic our tribalistic ways. You feel me? When it comes, I ain't gonna say clan ways. I ain't gonna say tribalistic. Yeah, I mean same type
No,
shit. But
we
yeah,
start we clan is us. See, a family is a house of slaves. That's real talk. But the
no,
clan
no.
situation, we have many clans, and these clans went into nations, and then they built empires and kingdoms.
Yeah, I nah. See how I understand it is clans build tribes, right? Because clans is your family, right? Like you were saying, and then tribes is people that connect with you culturally, right? Or that may be connected with you by family member, another. You feel me? But they y'all got different clans depending on what, and then these different tribes come together and build a nation, and then the different nations can come together and build an empire.
You know, I'm high as a kite, so I'm gonna agree with you.
Nah, you good, bro. You
Yeah,
good,
I'm
bro.
agree. I'm over here blazing, man.
You good.
But no, we
You,
on the same page. Know what I mean, like for real,
no,
for
no,
real.
for sure, for
We might
sure.
have had it backwards, so
No, no,
definitely.
for sure. It's same shit though. Nah, but we understand the root of it all, bro. Like
Yeah.
that's what it is. Everything really of significance originated here, bro.
You know
All
Western
that.
oil?
You said
I don't know
what?
where y'all from, but we got Western oil. You know Western, the oil that you could use to fry chicken.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Okay, well, it's a house of Watan, and this is coming out of America, so it's Western, the house of Western, right? And
Wait,
it's
so you're
now,
telling me it was owned by Indians?
nah,
Or
not by Indians, nah.
you talking about the name?
Look, hold on. Let me say these first, and then I'm gonna tell you because it's weird. You know Ajax, Ajax the cleaner.
Yeah.
Okay, well Ajax is a house of Ajax. It's a real house. These people have real wealth. This is a people that was in America, right? These castles and stuff. I always talk about these castles and stuff, but nobody never talk about who really owned and was living in them. Well, we deal with a lot of household products and things that we use that have names on them that traditionally start off in America, and it don't make sense that like they turned these names into like cooking oil names and brands.
I mean,
You,
that's
you get what I'm
that go with everything, bro. That I mean, we look around. You feel me? Our names of our
Yeah,
ancient
Uncle
places or
Ben's,
family.
Aunt Jemima.
Come on,
Yeah,
Wakanda.
that's yeah.
Wakanda. They made a movie and talking about Wakanda is some Africans or some shit.
Nah,
How you make a
you got
Black Panther? How you,
Wakanda.
wait. How you make how you make a movie talking about this shit is based in Africa, right? But the main character is supposed to be a Black Panther, right? And if you understand the jaguar and the leopard, the jaguar has the dominant melanin gene, and the leopard has the recessive melanin gene. So it ain't that many black leopards out there. It's a whole lot of fucking Black Panthers out here. You feel me? Black
Yep,
jaguars. I mean, and
Jaguars.
then exactly, and then the Wakanda place. It's several places. Definitely, what's it? Was it? Is it Kansas? Is it in Kansas or?
Yeah, it's somewhere
But
up
Yeah,
northeast.
Kansas and it's a couple of
it's a couple
places.
places that's actually
Yeah.
named Wakanda here. Actually, one of them. holds the fountain of youth. You feel me? So that ties into the whole little movie script and all that, how they had to drink from the, you know what I'm saying? So come on, cuz y'all, it is
Yeah,
everywhere,
yeah.
bro.
Like
They
they
put it in
telling
our
you
face.
like how mysterious America really is by putting the movie and telling you, oh, it took place in Africa. You know what I'm
All
saying?
that shit they do. All the time. You exactly right though, bro. That's what they do, bro. And put it in our face though. It's on us to, you know what I mean, to decode it because they ain't gonna do it. But
Facts,
a lot of the
bro.
times what they do is they follow what's that code called? It started with a G. Where they have to tell us what they gonna do so they don't face the karma or some shit.
Oh yeah, yeah. They
Um
got to tell you the truth.
yeah, they gotta tell us the truth. So they gotta put it in some way or another. You feel me?
Yeah,
So
whether in
and
a
that's how they do it.
cartoon, yeah,
Yep.
however they tell it, they could be
Oh, I
like, we
get what
told
you're
it.
saying. Yeah, it's that's reverse
It's
psychology.
the law of something. I forgot what it's
I
called, but it's
forgot
some
what it's called.
law.
I think it started with a G or something, but I forgot what it's called. But yeah, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that's they
Yeah.
gotta tell us what they gonna do, bro. So a lot of ways they put it in sneaky ways, bro. They put it in front of our face. It's on us to remove the veil and really see what the fuck going on.
Y'all seen Zero Day?
Yeah, what's up?
I didn't see it.
Zero Day on Netflix with Robert De Niro, Angela Bassett.
I don't know if I've seen that, but I don't think I've seen that.
Man, that thing good, man.
It's a movie or a show?
It's a series, 8 of them,
Okay, okay, okay. I
but they
might check it
fire,
out.
man.
What
You
they
know what's
talking about in
bad?
there?
Huh?
What they talking about in there?
Really, I don't want to spoil it, man. It's
Nah,
like,
bro, I want to. I don't care. I'm gonna
yo,
watch it anyway because that's gonna make me want to watch it.
it's all right, boom. Robert De Niro, the president, but at the same time, it's like Angela Bassett, the president. And it's like stuff going on in America between these reporters. And it's like a whole situation that's like kind of like going down now. So
I was
it's
about
like
to say,
almost they trying to cover up a little something, something. Know what I mean, like how we said, they got to show you. You know what I'm
yeah, they
saying?
putting. Okay, I got what you're saying. They putting little gems in there. Yeah, I'm gonna check it out for
Yeah.
sure.
But that's a big
Yeah.
gem. That thing good, man. I'm about to watch it for the second time, so it's good.
It
Yeah.
it's kind of like how, like, in the back of the dollar they put the pyramid. Nobody knew that America had the most pyramids that the world has ever seen. They put it in your
Yup,
face, but you can't register it.
exactly, bro. The oldest pyramids, the most pyramids,
You
the
wasn't
biggest pyramids.
supposed to know
No,
because it's
bro.
your stuff.
Exactly.
And
That's
that's
why.
why.
That's what the whole thing was. That's why all of this shit that we learning and putting out is going because we wasn't supposed to know this shit, man.
Remember in U.S. history for 150 years they tried to keep the books from us. If you a slave, what you got to do with a book in America?
I was about to say, nah,
Yo, but I feel you, Chief. We
well,
supposed to be thugging. We supposed to be, pants half ass. You know what I'm saying? They
come on,
never
man.
thought that we would read.
I'm just
Exactly.
saying that's
And
that's
then and,
recorded
and
in
then
history.
and then what's crazy is what the fuck is that? Hey girl, calm down. But nah, even with what's crazy is they think just because these certain stereotypes they put on us, you feel me? That's gonna stop us from getting. I mean, for you gotta wake up. You know what I mean? Once you know better, you do better, right? But at the same time, like being a warrior don't mean or you living that type life. You feel me? Don't mean you necessarily a idiot, bro. You come on, bro. That's where I come from. You feel me? I come from that. You feel me? Like real talk. Like I'm on my wave now, teaching and everything. But I came from that. You feel me? I elevated. You feel me? You feel me? I grew. You feel me? But at the same time, that shit in me. That shit ain't never going. You know what I mean? Go away. That's why I got this type of demeanor I got. 'Cause I don't really play with people in real life. You feel me? Like I
Yeah, you
don't
got that
really.
You are
warrior
brave.
spirit. You know what
That's
I'm
why.
saying? Yeah, like, for me, the biggest thing is like communicating. Like, I try to like use the words. I try to like get to the etymology. I try to let people relate and understand to what I'm teaching. Because if you don't do that, your teaching would be useless.
Right.
To break it
That's
down, you
honest.
know?
Yeah, nah, and to me, I'm only trying to reach the people I'm meant to reach, bro. I don't really care about everybody seeing my shit. The more eyes on it, the better it is. Because some people that's from other places gonna resonate. They're gonna be like, oh wait, let me see about it. They talking about this, that, and the third. Because we changed the whole dynamic on this app, right? Because when we first came on here, they like, oh, these pretendians, this, that, even though they still saying it right now. But at the same time, we done stepped on them with so much. They scared to even come around and talk to us now. The
Hey, Chief, and they
OGs,
calm that pretendian shit down because we've been showing them that the pretendians are failed. They don't like to hear that shit no more.
all you gotta do is Google it. That's
Yep,
it.
that's it.
That's it. Google it,
It's
go to
over.
images. Come
Yo,
on,
that's what I'm
man.
saying. Like, this shit is so checkmate. They gotta understand it's over, bro. Like, I saw you. It wasn't you that put out the video with Joya that he was talking shit. No, it wasn't Joya
Yup.
that was talking. It was
Nah,
Nuke,
yeah, you
Nuke
right.
it, Nuke.
No, you right. That was Joya. It was Joya. He was saying something about him being Native American and the Mexicans are together or some shit like, man, get the fuck. I'm glad you said that right now. Let me show you all y'all $5 Indians. All you motherfuckers, you fake motherfuckers up here, man. I pulled up, who I pulled up? I pulled up, Iron Eyes Cody, showed cuz when he was young, show Sachin Littlefeather, right? She was a whole activist, a native activist that went to her unalive bed claiming that she was an American Indian. She was Apache, supposed to be Apache and Yakimi, right? But her family came out and proved and said, nah, we ain't recognizing no tribe. We ain't from no tribe. We are Spaniards, bro. Our people is from Spain. You feel me?
Mm.
That's what we have. We are of Spanish descent. That's exactly what her sister said. You feel me? So they be outing themselves, and same go with Iron Eyes Cody. He went to his unalive bed claiming he was American Indian. His people came out. Nah, we his people came out. Nah, we whole Italians, bro. We whole Italians. But he filmed in over 200 films portraying to be a so-called American Indian. But he has the same phenotypes of these people that's portraying to be American Indians today. You feel me? And then I show Guido Laura. You feel me? With the Mexican what's the what's a good word for him? He made up a whole bunch. He forged a whole bunch of like 40,000 artifacts. Basically, he made up 40,000 in Europe and across the Americas today that he made up. And these people know he made it up. Like once y'all do extensive research on Brigida Lore, you're gonna see how the
Yeah,
government
he's
even
a
hired these
counterfeit,
after. Yeah, the
counterfeit
counterfeit
artist.
guy. Yeah, and it's not even really because to counterfeit to me, you have to make it like the original. What he said when he was getting out
That
of
was his original.
right, exactly. He said it's his own. It's his what he said. What's his He says my personal interpretations. That's his terminology. He said these are my own personal interpretations. And he made over 40,000 of these bitches, and they
Bro, he
in
muddied up the Indian tradition shit with what he did, bro. He muddied up the whole shit.
Yeah, and you know who he made basically focus on, mostly focus on. He focused on the
The Asians.
I think not yeah, but he tried to forge or try to make the Mayan artifacts look Asian. So all these when you look at some of these jade and some of these jade and clay type artifacts, that's from him, and they look Asian. That's from him. Like he be
Yeah,
forging
yeah.
in
Obviously,
jade,
he had an
in
agenda.
stone, and all
So
type of shit.
yeah, yeah. You got to see through the bullshit. If they have too much of a chink, yeah, we got him.
Come on, man. Over 40,000 artifacts, cuz. Oh, and they in museums today, bro. And then what's crazy is after because he got locked up for trying to quote unquote smuggle it out of the country, right? But he didn't make it a successful. He got locked up, right? They put him in jail, but he told him, "Hey, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Basically, That's mine. I ain't forged nothing. All this, this not no ancient artifacts. I made all this shit up. And he said, if you get me the tools right in my jail cell, I'm gonna recreate them right in front of you. That's what he did. And then after he got out, after they released him for doing that, showing that he didn't actually forge anything, that's his own personal interpretations and shit, right? Quote unquote, right? They hired him for the government, bro, for the Mexican government. so, so like they hired him. He's supposed to be able to tell forgeries and all that. Nah, they hired his ass to make more of them bitches.
Well,
Shouldn't
that's
he?
why that's why I stay with my books, man.
Shouldn't
For real.
he?
Right,
Come
you
on,
got
man.
to, man.
There's forgeries out there, man. Like all this shit that's going across the world that they say, oh, this is from ancient Egypt. Let me tell you, the space in Egypt today could not hold. If you were to return every mummy and shit, they could not hold or put it back into a hole in Egypt, bro.
Right,
Yeah,
It's too
but
small.
here's the thing, where the mummies at? Cause they ain't
They're here in
yeah,
Hold
but why
America.
they
on,
always
wait,
being
They're in
found?
England.
wait.
They're
The
yeah,
whole
they're all over, bro.
the whole time they tell you, man, look, if it's old kingdom pre-dynastic Egypt, man, where the bones at? See, all the
And
bones is
then
over here scattered around throughout America and stuff.
In
exactly.
Like,
every
Then
museum.
why are they always being found with indigenous American crops in them, bro? Why are they being found with love for the cocoa? You feel me? In them, you feel me? Why they
you
getting
already
Like
found with
know
that
that
shit?
why.
shit
You,
comes
you
from
already know
here.
why. We
Yeah,
take
it
Come
comes
on.
from
snacks with us
here.
when we go on trips.
Yeah, but I'm
Yeah,
saying, if it's supposed to be African, why is indigenous American crops being found in so-called African mummies? Come on, man, stop the
right.
noise.
That's a game over. That's they don't want to argue that.
Salute, Kenny. Salute, Kenny.
Big
Hopping
dog,
up on the
man,
panel,
what's going
cuz.
on,
What it do
man?
with you, bro?
Man, I'm just
Salute,
tapping in. I
Kenny.
seen I seen you up on live, bro. So I just figured I come tap in, man, see what y'all was talking about.
What's
Appreciate
good,
you,
bro?
bro. We talking about a little
We
bit of
having some good
everything,
videos,
man.
man.
Man, oh, appreciate it. Yeah, no, I hear you, boy. You talking about, you talking about stuff that I don't know about. Well, I shouldn't say I don't know about, but I had a question, really, because you said
What's
something
up?
on one of my videos the other day, and I still hadn't had a chance to research it. But you on the topic now, though, because we were talking. Well, actually, my video was about some indigenous plants that was found in some mummies. And
Right,
I
right,
think
right.
that was you that was like, bro, they sent a lot of the mummies over there. And right when I seen that, I was like, okay, I need to go ahead and tap back into that because I haven't gone down that I'll say
Yeah, like
lane in history in a minute, right? But she's talking about it now though, bro. So like, do you know offhand, like off the top of your head, around what era that was when they was sending stuff over there?
I know a little bit, but I'm gonna let David build on that because he's a little bit more proficient in the mummy vacation area.
all right.
Okay.
So the Mummy Wars kind of like happened around when Napoleon was in charge.
Okay. Okay.
Like when he was in charge, he went to Egypt, right? You read about that in your history books, right? It
Hmm.
turns out that Egypt in Africa is a stage. It's not the real ancient Egypt. The real
At
ancient
all.
Egypt is in America. So that tells you that Napoleon was where? He was in the Americas. Because he was
Sounds
all
overture.
right, right.
That's who Napoleon is.
So check this out. In Europe, you're not capable of fighting Russia and Egypt at the same time, but you can do it here in America. You understand?
You
If
can't.
America is Egypt, you could do it here because
No, I see.
Russia,
No, I see where you coming from, but logically you can't because you don't have enough men.
right,
If you,
over there you can't. But over here, where he was in Egypt and he was fighting wars here, right? He was here in Egypt and who was he fighting? He was fighting the Russians and he lost.
and what's the explanation for that? Georgia, a place called Transylvania, Valhalla.
Right. So when he lost, they took a lot of the mummies that was here and they shipped them all across the world. And then they started eating our mummies, all this crazy shit, bro.
Not
Can't
only
make this
that,
stuff up.
they took over 25,000 artifacts out of Mexico that were Egyptian, 100% Hindu and Egyptian. Took them out of
Yeah,
Mexico.
yeah, and that's going back like he was saying because remember, David, I was just saying I seen a movie earlier where the French, Napoleon specifically, he was in a movie supposedly creating the Egypt and Africa as we know today. Like I just can't find a movie because once
I
I
think I
find
know
it,
what you're talking about, man. I've been thinking
it's
about
an
that
older
when you said
movie.
it.
It's an older movie. I just can't find it, bro. I don't remember the name of it. I came about it doing research probably like 7, bro, a long time ago. Bro. I seen that
Yeah,
movie.
like a
I mean, that
70s movie.
yeah, it's like a 70s movie, bro. It's an old movie, but it's in color. You feel me? It's in color, but it's depicted over there with the French and everything. So that makes sense when Napoleon, because you know Napoleon did come over here. He lost the war and everything was getting sent to the shit they created over there in Egypt as we
Yeah,
know today. Because it's a video that we see today that they literally move and fucking Egypt
because
or parts of
the
pyramids and
That's
temples
why
and
they flooded
everything.
the
oh,
Aswan Canal and all that, the water and
I
all
but
got the
that.
the
video on my YouTube. Actually got the video on my YouTube
They
with them
flooded the real shit and put
moving.
the fake stuff in.
oh
Yeah,
yeah, I had a
with
video on
them
that
move.
too. But
Yeah, with
I
them
want to.
moving it. Actually, yeah, with them actually moving it from one place or another because it's supposed to be a flood coming in. They built the dam and all this other, you know what I mean, nonsense. But yeah.
Now the stuff that they can't move over there that they trying to, I should put that. Matter of fact, nah, I ain't
But
do the
how are you
video
going to
yet.
move like it?
Well,
But
it's
Kenny,
megalithic structures over there that they can't move in Egypt that they know for sure that we left from over here and went over there and did it.
yeah,
But when you
Kenny,
see this video, it's like it's no way they could like unless you built this shit, like you made this shit up, you created. There's no way that you can move these ancient antiquities, megalith structures, like you just said, and shit don't crumble, and you can't just chop up. And come on, bro, let's we gotta use logic when we thinking of this stuff because it don't make sense to me. Like how you gonna move parts of Egypt, bro, and just be like, oh yeah, this, this where it was at, this just because of the flood, I'm just move this part over
Yeah,
there.
they
And,
moving because they should cement and 2x4s in there. Like
actually, I'm actually about to play it. Let
it's
me
yeah,
play
clay
it.
but
though.
but
That
but
shit
Kenny,
clay though. Like
but Kenny, you get what I'm saying, like how it happened, like the downfall of Napoleon, and then shit started being shipped out all across the world.
Yeah, for sure.
Like
I
you,
really just it was that timeline link that I was missing. But as soon as you said Napoleon, I was able to kind of trace it right back. Like, well, damn, that wasn't even that long ago, But
nope.
it was the timeline. But that helped me bridge a gap right there.
Napoleon was French, right?
Yeah, and
So
then
this
you're
shit.
gonna find a lot of the mummies and stuff
Okay,
like from
and the French
Tennessee,
was in
and
control.
everything gets sent over there because they found a lot of mummies in Tennessee and in that area, Arkansas. And they shipped it over there. You feel
There's
me?
still
But
mummies in the mounds we made.
for sure. But you know how they going, they don't allow us
It's a
to go.
book you could go get to see what's in the mounds. I show that book all the time. Ancient Giants Who Ruled America.
Also, like you remember, the Rosetta Stone. In America, next to like Tennessee, there's a place called Rosetta. I think they took it from there, that like around Napoleon's time, because they found it around his time.
And then I'm glad you
Damn, I
said the
forgot
Rosetta
about
Stone,
that.
right? With the Rosetta Stone, though, you remember me showing a video that they claimed that they understood hieroglyphics or whatever. They can read it, but when they
Hmm.
said they was supposedly reading it, Rosetta Stone wasn't even discovered till 100 years later. So who was reading these things? Who did y'all make it up and put it on the wall? Come on, bro, it don't add up. You feel me?
Now, I think
It
they
don't
might have
add
had
up.
tracings and tidlets, like they had fragments of words and stuff, so they didn't have the complete puzzle. But when the Rosetta
But
Stone
how
came
how
out,
could how would you be able to understand it? Because Rosetta Stone was supposedly been able to translate all of these different
all
languages
all of it,
and
right?
ancient.
That's what I'm
Exactly.
saying. At that time, before the Rosetta Stone, they had fragments, pieces. They
Okay.
didn't have the whole thing. So when the Rosetta Stone came out, they were able to put together more parts of the puzzle and make a more clear picture.
Yeah, man. I don't know. It be fishy to me because a lot of the times too, when you looking at the ancient hieroglyphics and then you looking at the Mayan languages on the murals and everything, a lot of that shit comes from the Mayan. Like even how they do numbers and different. Like once you, because I'm more into the Mayan part of everything than more so than the Egypt.
When you get a chance, put me on the big
Yo,
screen.
the
But yeah,
Mayan didn't
all
even
that
count
line up.
one. They counted zero as if it was one.
We invented zero. That's what it. And you need zero to build anything of elaborate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that
Feats,
what
bro.
Terrence.
Like,
Y'all talking like Terrence Howard now.
This is
for real,
this
for real,
is
bro.
prisoner taken by an army of the Assyrian king Ashurbanipal from a captured Egyptian town on a relief from Nineveh. So I want to show you the
Nineveh.
people on what they look like, right? They got feathers in their head, right? Got a whole situation. They say it's an Egyptian town. Now this book, right, is the ancient. Well, I'll show you what it is. The ancient Near Eastern pictures. So this is relating to the Old Testament. This is what they say in the Old Testament stuff is, right?
And the Bible matches up with America because, for
Well,
example, there's a king
wait,
named Sennacherib, right?
wait,
And he said,
wait.
okay, okay.
Now this is only a piece, right? This ain't the whole wall. It's more to this. So what I'm saying is I could take a picture of anything, put it in the book and say it's somewhere else. Like I say, it's say from Nineveh, right? So where's Nineveh?
Well, I've been doing research on it. I think it's in South America.
No, it's in Pennsylvania. You got YT men who had proved that when they had went to Nineveh, Pennsylvania. You could look that up, but I'm not sure if you're gonna find that information on how they went over there and found them temples and stuff behind them bushes. And they kept the name for the location of the place, but they removed and took down a lot of the temples and stuff. So in other words, what I'm saying is by this being an Egyptian town, they rocking these feathers in their head. They already saying it's Nineveh. You had YT people back in the day over here in Pennsylvania. It's a place called Nineveh, Pennsylvania. Well, that temple, I'm willing to bet that this is this right here that we're looking at, without a shadow of a doubt, because they even said it. It's a YT dude up here that be on TikTok talking about this stuff. He bring up a lot of the good archaeological stuff from a long time ago for the East Coast. Another thing I wanted to point out is that this dude right here, well, they say he a Mayan. They say this dude come from the Yucatan Peninsula.
What's that song?
Oh, well, this is prisoners of Ramses III from a campaign in Amor, right? Libyans, Syrians, Hittites, and Sea peoples and Syrians.
So
Now,
so if we going with the geographical locations according to like how y'all make it congruent with the biblical terms and everything. So Egypt will be in North America. North America over there by Tennessee and all of that, correct?
well, you got Upper and Lower Egypt. You got two
Yeah, of
crowns.
course, of course, of course. Arkansas, and I think Arkansas, Tennessee, and might be another part.
I mean,
But
I
David,
did.
yeah, I was talking to you more so, David. What
Nah,
you?
you got to look at where the temples is at. Our temples is ranging from Grand Canyon going down. South America, Mexico, and all
I
that's
mean, it's
up.
temple. I was about to say it's temples
So
every. Yeah, nah, it's temples
just
everywhere. So I was thinking South America would, because if you said Mayans, we know the Mayans came from South
right.
America,
So
right?
All
yeah,
these
And
yeah.
then
belong
So
to us.
let me.
so
All of
no,
these.
what you were saying, David?
Yeah,
Oh,
I was gonna say like I want to let him finish his presentation because I'm gonna show him something.
okay,
Yeah,
okay, okay. What you were
I'm
saying,
just
bro?
saying he could go ahead and take the floor. Yeah, go ahead.
No, 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 no. I was saying because I was trying to congruent like what you just showing, right? Because you saying they saying that brother is a Mayan, right? But that's showing something with the Ramses and all of that. So if that's how it is, if he's a Mayan, then we know that he comes from South America, right? But if he's supposed to be Egyptian, the old ancient Egyptian, then we know he comes from North America, right? And I was just trying to place it whether he was in Tennessee or as in as far as in the states today.
Nah, I
But what
get
you
what you're saying. Well, check this out. You said the Bible, right? You know Moses
no
in the Exodus, right? Moses went to a place called P10, right? But
So
P10 is in South America. So
so all right. So listen. So in Moses's time, South America was known as ancient Assyria, right? Because look, they've
it
been
was the
finding
land of Punt,
ancient.
really.
Well, let me just
Oh no,
finish
go
real
ahead. My
quick.
bad, man.
Yeah. This is they've been finding some ancient Sumerian writings in South America, right? Like there was one called the Fuentes Bowl. The Fuentes Bowl has a writing about some goddess named Nia that was an ancient Assyrian goddess, right? Also, South America, like Bolivia in particular, they discovered was known as Kugaki, which is the tin land. Like it was rich in copper, it was rich in like certain type of tin, and they've discovered mining sites, ancient mining sites in these lands, and they discovered that with the writings that land must have been what's written in Mesopotamian texts, the land called Kugaki, which is South America. Also, the Bible talks about how there's a river in Assyria that runs eastward, right? And in the Bible, this river is called Hiddekel. The word Hiddekel means rapid. I don't know if you guys know what rapid means, but I looked up what the fastest river in the world is. It turns out that it's the Amazon. So not only do we have a river that flows eastward, but we have the word that matches Hiddekel, which is rapid, right there in South America. Also, it was known as Kugaki, the tin land of the ancient Assyrian people. Just because we're living in the future doesn't mean that in the ancient times it wasn't so. You feel me?
and I mean, and what you saying, because all of that, and what you, as far as in the Amazon, all of that actually is congruent with what I know, right? So what you saying, as that being the ancient land of tin, what I be teaching is all the precious minerals or metals that was found here, and that actually put Europe on the map. You feel me? Made Europe really to be more of a power of what it is today because of all our ancient precious metals that they robbed from us. So exactly in that area where you're talking about is right here. That's by Peru, right? That's no, that's
Yep,
South
yep.
America.
That Peru,
That's Peru. Yeah,
Bolivia,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So right
and
there, that's the Inca. That all of that go hand in hand. All of that should connect, bro. All of that should connect.
right. See, you got
Yeah.
to think bigger than just a little area like that little city, Nineveh. That's too small to be an ancient empire. You have to think empire. You can't think one city. You feel me? So you
Right,
got
right,
to
right. And I know
expand.
we traded because me
Yeah,
knowing all the stuff that we traded, it coincides with that. But what you were saying, bro?
yeah, yeah. That's what I was saying. Like, when you look up, for example, even the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, in that place, Mesopotamia, you can't find no garden hanging nowhere, no mountainous garden nowhere. But in South America, you have Machu Picchu, and they don't really know how old it is because at the base, You see super old rocks, and they don't even know how old it is.
Check this out. Ain't Peru part of the Louisiana Purchase?
Is
Y'all
it?
do know that, right?
Let me see. I ain't know that. Let me see. I ain't know that.
No,
Go.
Peru is part of the Louisiana Purchase. So what I'm going to say and just leave it alone is that should show you the connection. If that's part of the purchase, then that should tell you about the people. The giant empire that connected from North and South America.
Yeah, no, that would definitely tie them together.
Why is Peru part of the Louisiana Purchase? Nobody never
Here's a
bring
guy.
that up.
Yeah, here's a guy that visited South America, and he was talking about the metals that was over there. You know what I'm saying? And this was back in the 1500s, 1545. His name was Cerro Rico. See, it talks about, and it was rich in silver. So, I mean, South America is definitely rich in all these types of metals. And then Assyria had all these types of metals. And then
Yup.
they had this river that ran eastward. This river was called Hiddekel. And then it just so happens that the Amazon is the fastest river, which Hiddekel means rapid. It's like putting together the pieces of the puzzle, y'all, on another scale. You know what I'm saying? Egypt was USA. And then we had Utah, which would have been Israel, Utah, Nevada, Colorado, and not Texas, but it was one more state. But yeah, those 4 states made up real ancient Israel.
I
And
mean, I could
Nevada.
dig it because I just showed a map that pretty much gave locations of places that you're saying is in America. I'm not saying no.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I got more.
They,
That's what I'm saying. This is just the beginning. I'm just scratching the surface with this. I'm bringing it out slowly because I don't know how much people can take. You know what I'm saying? Last year, well, the last couple of years has been America's Egypt, but then what else is out there?
For sure, bro. And all of it connect. I'm looking at something right now. I'm about to because what you were
Up on a big
saying
screen.
too, in that area, platinum and all of that was they had platinum, copper, gold, they had everything. So definitely in that area it was abundant in that area.
I hear you,
That
but
explains the jewelry.
you
That
had
explains the
Upper
jewelry.
and you had Lower Egypt. Trust me.
But we had gold. It was gold in North America too, but it was gold throughout the Americas. But that region right there specifically was rich and abundant in these different type of precious metals. Like I can pull it. You know what I mean? I can pull that up. I did like a little a whole little video on that.
Yeah, I'm just saying, we here. We definitely here.
Hey, one thing I was gonna point out, y'all heard about the book. It's titled "Did Hebrews Discover America?"
I heard of that book. I don't have it.
All right, well, it's a short read, honestly, man. But I really y'all gonna have to put me on the green screen another time. But I just want to read a little portion of it. So in the book, it's talking about this guy named Gordon, who's a professor of Mediterranean studies at Brandeis, and this is on the Harvard Crimson. So this article came out at Harvard University, right? So in this study, Brandeis claims that Hebrew refugees fleeing Roman oppression crossed the Atlantic, perhaps with the aid of Phoenician navigators. They eventually settled in Tennessee and in Kentucky. Gordon based his theory on a stone uncovered in Tennessee, in a Tennessee burial mound. Indian burial mound is what it says. He claims the inscriptions on the stone are ancient Hebrew, for the land of Canaan. So essentially, this stone, kind of like the Bat Creek stone, where they had put it upside down, or somebody had they wasn't sure how to interpret it for a while, and then they did. So somebody a second ago mentioned something about Rosetta Stone in Tennessee, and so it instantly shot this little glip to my mind. But I'm open for them now. Possible thoughts? Is there a
Nah,
connection?
nah,
Is this what you're referring to? Is that something different?
You got the
nah, that's
Bourne
not.
Stone up in Bourne, Massachusetts, though.
No, that definitely connects. 'Cause I know about the Back Creek Stone. It was another stone that
The
the
Libyan script.
Because
what's
the
the
Smithsonian,
tribe
they
though? It's
took this. The Smithsonian, they snatched this. So like this ain't one that we that I even think I know about or have seen this particular stone. That's
Oh,
why I
that's a
asked.
different one from the Back
Yeah,
Creek.
this one is not the Back Creek stone. Nah, this
Okay.
one, this is something different. And so that's when you said Rosetta, I'm thinking like, okay, I've heard about the Rosetta. I haven't researched it thoroughly. So and I also heard somebody say that they thought it was in Tennessee. So when I heard stone in Tennessee, I'm like, wait, I heard. Okay, let me go back to my. So now I'm just like I said, I'm kind of just scratching
No, that's
shoulders now
something.
at this point.
No, that's something. That's definitely something, bro. I'm gonna have to look more into that because I'll be, I got, I'm a little bit knowledgeable in everywhere, but my main focus be, the ancient Mayan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That type of thing. So y'all, like, we building right now. You feel me? So we all, put something in the pot. But I'm gonna definitely look more into that.
They said they discovered it in 1885. If that helps.
Yeah,
You
you
said
got
1885.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now I think I know what you're talking about, bro. I have to be honest. I'm gonna look on my I think I know what you're talking about for real. For you said 1885. I think I researched something on that.
I know. I'm not. He definitely talking on point with it. They even got the
Yeah.
Moabite stone. Yeah, they got a lot of things they found over here that relate to us. But the thing
So
is, we're not supposed to know about it. Let's put it
Hey,
like that.
go ahead, Dave.
so I was about to say go ahead because I'm about to read something right quick. I want to see if it kind of relate to what David was talking about. Because I was presenting something about precious metals. The other day and showing how actually when I did the gold Jaguar scepter, I was showing the precious metal gold and how we had that in abundance and it was more of a status symbol than currency. So we ain't really use gold as American Indians as money. We used it as a status symbol. So if you use one of them, using gold. You know what I'm talking about? But it's this part right here I'm about to read right quick. Hold on. I'm gonna start right here because this what I'm reading from is from sodiumlamp.tumblr.com, but it's talking about precious metals, specifically talking about platinum, right? And it's talking about all the precious metals found throughout the world, but how the ones in the Americas were better, like the artwork, the elaborate different things that we know how to do without the tools they couldn't have. Because Europeans, when they came over here, they didn't know how to work platinum. They didn't understand how to work. They knew how to work gold. They knew how to work silver, but they didn't know how to work platinum. So that was something that we did, and I kind of wanted because he said 10. When you saying 10 to me, I know what 10 is, but I'm trying to see if
Yeah,
platinum.
tin could mean a variety of metals.
Right. So that's what I'm thinking. So let me read this part right quick. Hold on. As we understand, we can't do it. No. I'm gonna go up there. Let me find a part right quick. All right. So they centered platinum in South America, but who are we talking about exactly? Unfortunately, I have only an incomplete answer that we call the La. Let me put this on the screen. In fact, hold on. Move this out the camera view. Put this on the screen right quick. All right, bet. So,
And make the screen bigger, please.
got you. All right, bet that up. All right, so y'all can actually see. But so they center platinum in South America, But who are we talking about exactly? Unfortunately, I have an incomplete answer to that. We call them the La Tortilla Tormoco culture. I know I probably butchered that, right? Mainly because we don't know what they call themselves. The names come from the general area which once they live to Mako in the western tip of modern Colombia and in the Isle of Tolito in the northwestern part of Ecuador. Just so we're all on the same page, we're talking about a strip of the Pacific coastline in the northwest portion of South America, right? Now, in my own convenience, I'm going to abbreviate La Tortilla Tomoco culture down to Tolitian. Hey, Storm, calm down, man. Hold on. I've been reluctant to use terms like South American or Indian because those cover a wide range of people and lands. Also, I done got blah blah blah. A zinc also, I just got done reading about zinc's discovery on the Indian subcontinent, so I didn't want to confuse anybody by talking about Indians discovering platinum. I'm talking about a specific group of indigenous South Americans, but since their name has been lost to history, I figure we're calling them the Tolteans no worse than anything else. The the to, the Tolitans, I'm gonna say Tolitans. It's a little better. The
Oh,
Tolitans live.
the Tolitans, yeah.
The Tolitans,
I think
okay.
they were before the Olmecs,
Right, right.
or
So
was
the
it after?
Tolitans
Something like that.
lived on islands surrounded by mangrove swamps. They built earthen mounds, which upon they there they established their homes, burial sites. Later, inhabitants will call these mounds tolas, and were the names like Latola and Latotia or Latota that right there, y'all, come from. In 1756, Friar Juan de Santa Grotis visited the region and wrote about it in a book, Wonders of Nature. He reported that the ancient Indians were buried in the mounds along with valuable treasures. From what I can tell, this is some sort of treatment was reserved for the chiefs, so we might compare this to Egyptian practices. I suppose an earthen mound isn't quite as impressive as a pyramid, even though we had the most elaborate pyramids, and earthen mounds are actually older than pyramids. But King Tut didn't get to take any platinum with him here either, because he didn't have platinum. A shaman of Latoti, y'all know the word, could expect grave goods made of platinum gold alloys, including necklaces, diamonds, nose rings, lip plugs, and other miniature ornaments. So maybe a pharaoh might have a a twinge of envy. Okay, but basically, right there, we're gonna go down. I'm gonna skip down to right here. It says Lototia Island was first inhabited in about 600 BC. The earliest known gold artifacts in the area date back to 918 to 780 BC. Those artifacts contain silver and copper, and so we have a general picture of the state of South American metallurgy
Brother,
at the time.
this is such a gem. You gotta send me this one. I gotta look this one up because
I
it
got you,
would be
bro.
perfect for what I'm building. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all know who Father Crespi is?
Yeah, yeah. He talked about the Sumerian writings that he found in what was it, Mesoamerica?
Yeah, all that stuff was real. They brought out that cave and stuff.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
if you bring all the stuff out, then
He he
people will
he,
start to
he said
understand.
that the Mesopotamians and them was down there. Not just like him saying it, but they gave him all the information because it wasn't
Yeah,
even they stuff.
yeah. Mesoamerica was really Babylonia.
I heard
That's
the
really what
new
it
one
was.
was Peru. Is that true? I mean, what are y'all's thoughts on that according to y'all's research? I should say that.
Yeah, because what they did was they took the Middle East, shrunk it, and they said, okay, that's the Garden of Eden. But what really happened is, our Canada used to be Arcadia. You know, Egypt used to be where Tennessee was, and Israel used to be where Utah was. Babylonia was Mesoamerica. South America was Assyria because it has that river And also you have like, big mountain masses like Machu Picchu, all these different things in South America, much older than what everybody's saying.
But the Egyptians was down in Peru,
Facts.
in Machu
Facts.
Picchu.
Yeah. Yes. The Egyptians ran the world, just like
Well,
how
what
the
they don't
Assyrians
show
ran the
you on
world.
Machu Picchu is what's inside on the walls. So when you get inside of the walls of Machu Picchu, it's a different story. I know that for sure.
No, Machu Picchu is a mountain. And at the top of this mountain is where they used to put the Hanging Gardens of Babylon.
Those
They
man,
say,
they had temples and stuff. I know what you're talking about, Machu
yeah, and
Picchu.
it's in Machu Picchu in the ancient text, it's written as being like a garden, and it had a wheel to bring water up at the top, right? And it had a castle next to it. And when you look at Machu Picchu, it fits the description perfectly.
Yeah,
And what's
but
crazy,
they also
y'all
made it
saying all
into a
this,
hawk.
and how y'all saying all this line up to biblical, you know what I mean, figures and everything, bro. All this shit line up to all the Mayan stories, you know what I mean, all the Mayan knowledge
Bro,
I got, bro. And
the
all
Bible
of this
says,
shit,
can a leopard change his spots, bro? A
no,
leopard.
man.
You know what I'm saying?
Come on, bro. Yeah, bro. That's what I'm saying. All of this coincides with each other, and all of this goes back to astronomy, bro, and the above and the below, and agriculture, and understanding that everything connects. Like this scepter in his hand represents agriculture, but we know that Osiris had what the crook and the flail, and then we got Indubululu from the from the Sumerians. Cud had
Where
he
was
had a
the
scepter in
church
his.
trying to get to? Remember the church, the Catholic Church, and them. Everybody was trying to get to Peru. It was between
Right.
Peru and Mexico. It had nothing to do with North America for a minute. It was only Peru and Mexico. All them wars fought in the Gulf, all down there. That's what they was trying to get, the rule, in order to get North America, especially Peru. That's what took Europe into a dark ages because of the first the first
I
what's
thought I
what's
thought the I thought the Dark Ages represented the Moors ruling over Europe.
nah, that's when we left from over here, went over there and set all that up. Look, if the Moors came out of North Africa, how come you don't find all of that in North Africa? You only find that in certain places around the world, and that's America and certain parts of Asia. So what put
What
Europe
what
into the
you
Dark
what
Ages
you mean
was
by like what certain by what certain things though? Like
like the whole buildup of Europe. Apparently,
okay, you talk about
before,
like the castles and stuff like that.
yeah, certain castles that existed over there. But far as them having like aqueducts, food, certain
I was about to say
clothes.
we taught them the aqueducts and all of that. Yeah, we taught them that shit.
Yeah,
Shit.
I'm talking about bringing in the light, like they not using the bathroom on the ground, walking around laying in it and stuff. Know what I mean? Like
Depending on where you
medicine and
at
stuff.
in the world today, they still doing that, brother.
Yeah, they still
And
doing it.
But
so
go
so
ahead.
check so
Go
check it.
ahead, David.
Here's more evidence about South America being, ancient Sumerian. So this is the Fuentes Magna bowl, right? Uh, this bowl is evidence of Sumerian writing in South America. So
Hmm.
there's a few articles on it online, but they have cuneiform writings on it, and this is what I was telling you about. This bowl is super old, bro.
And I see the two serpents right there, bro. You know I'm on the serpents, bro. So every time I see a serpent, to me, and it's two of them too, to me that represents, like I'm always saying, as
The
above, so
Nagas.
below. Exactly. It represents Kukulkan, the Quasicoda, divine serpent. When they come together as one, that's divinity. Cause to me, this shit is crazy, bro.
I know,
This wild.
yo, bro.
This
It
wild.
blows your mind to match this stuff up with scripture, and it fits easy. That means that they fucking lying, bro. Hardcore.
Nah, but here's the thing. My bad to interject, but I don't know if most of y'all are aware of this, but up until the 1800s, the people that came over here, everything that they was doing or looking for and trying to set up was based on the Hebrew Bible. Like Europeans, a
Hmm.
lot of them, especially the Bible readers, fluently read or spoke Hebrew because they was all built on the Hebrew Bible. It wasn't until
Facts.
like the 17, 18, well, like 1800s ish where white supremacists basically said, like, bro, we came over here saying they was literally, matter of fact, when they came over here, they was literally trying to reenact the whole Moses to Pharaoh, the whole crossing the Red Sea. That whole thing was like in their mind as they coming. But then as they got over here, the more digging they did, the more realizing that it was us. They're like, well, wait a second. We can't be
I
telling them
mean,
it's them if it's supposed to be us, right?
But
And
the
then they
Bible
created
tells
a
everybody
separation.
it's us.
That's when we get the New Testament.
but and then even when you saying that, right? Because that coincides with them being called what? Pilgrims, right? And if you're on a pilgrimage, then you're in search of the what? The Holy Land, right? So if
That's what
you're in
they
search,
called it.
come on. So if you're in
Yeah, that's
search of the
crazy. I
Holy
never
Land,
thought about that, bro. That's
Hey, listen,
yeah.
crazy.
So
Listen, America, my bad, real quick, bro. America in Hebrew, do you know what it means?
Nope.
The land of I just posted about this today. Y'all go, man, look, it means the land of the covenant. In Hebrew, that's what America means.
word, I
I
didn't know
just found that
that.
out last night. I posted about it today.
Well, I know Britain means covenant.
So
Britain.
you said America, and
Google
I'm about
America
to go
in
look
Hebrew.
it up, bro. I might, yeah,
Google
no,
it
that's
right now.
fire.
America in
That makes
Hebrew.
that makes all the sense, and that connects to everything we talking about. Yeah.
I know, and what's crazy is that we kind of all coming from different scholarly perspectives. You know what I'm saying? Like different angles of research, but realizing that it all really lines up.
Oh, that's it, cuz. That's it, bro.
I lied to you,
This
bro.
shit. Oh.
It is? Is it
Did I
true?
lie to you? Did I lie
Nah,
to
you ain't
you?
lying to me, bro. Nah,
I
you
just,
ain't
I
lying,
just,
bro. All this shit connects, cuz exactly what you saying, and that's what make it so fucking dope, cause we got our own, you know what I mean, our own lanes and our own type of research that we've done, and all of this shit lining up with what we all know. You feel me? Yeah, for shit show.
Definitely.
For
Wait,
shit
so
show, bro.
it means the covenant keepers?
it means lands of the covenant.
Oh,
But
lands of the covenant. Okay.
but to me, I think covenant. I hear promise, right? So when I think about reading left to right versus reading
Promised
right to
land.
left, I still hear promised land. That's what I hear when I hear land of
It
the
it
covenant.
it is
But
though
that's open to yeah.
because America's the land of corn, right? Like as much as they try to say, "Oh, corn never existed in the Middle East," because it was never the Middle East. It was always here.
Exactly. Nah, bro, y'all cooking. Y'all was fucking cooking, man. Yeah, that's exactly right, bro. What everything y'all said is 103, bro. That's exactly right.
Cause,
Yeah,
cause
man.
look at how old corn is, like over 9, 10,000 years old. You mean to tell me it's been that long and no one across the world knows about this grain, but yet still this grain is capable of feeding fishes,
Well, who
birds,
had made it
livestock,
though? That's a
animals,
good
humans.
question. Who made that corn? Who genetically modified that corn to make it do what it did?
I
Because it's a
mean,
good story on that.
I
We
was about to say,
cultivated
so
it, but they GMO'd it.
It was maize, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it started. Well, we just kind of covered that when I was doing agriculture, right? So, it started as Tessanet. I might be
Yeah,
pronouncing that wrong.
teosinte.
Teosinte, right? So it started as that, right? And then through seed selection, which we created, right? We kind of cultivated it to become the corn that we kind of know today, but it was black. It wasn't, you know what I mean? It wasn't the GMO shit they got out right now. But we cultivated to become, man, we had two different, like 2,000 different varieties of corn, bro. Like we was doing all type of shit with corn when we was practicing seed selection. So just look up seed selection when it comes to agriculture, and then you'll know that's how a lot of different crops kind of develop to be different things, and they might root from one main grain or one main, you know what I mean, one main fruit or vegetable and shit, but they grew to be different things and shit. Yeah. because practice of seed selection. So it's basically isolating the seed and making it do what you do. I mean, it's kind of how they do with genetic, you know what I mean? Farming and all
Oh
that
no, I
shit.
got you.
But yeah. But nah,
Yeah,
that's
man.
fire though, bro. That's fire.
Yeah, man. Shit is game over, bro. Like, there's no way how they're gonna try to say, "Oh, Africa." Nah, Africa ain't no damn mother. You should be able to feed your children if you're the mother.
Exactly. Y'all ain't got no food, no water. What the fuck you got, man?
We was building
What?
pyramids on top of pyramids over here.
Yeah, come on, man. Y'all gotta cut it out. How if we just covered that 75% of the world's food, not just Africa, of the world's foods originated here in the Americas, right? And then Europe, not even Africa, the Africa they built up and you know what I mean, made Egypt today and shit, that didn't even have the crops. First, Europeans brought it to Asians and motherfucking Africans. So
You know what's
what's
crazy?
really going on?
Yo, some of the favorite foods in the world, like pizza and shit, right? You couldn't get pizza without America because you need the tomatoes.
Tomato. Exactly. You know I'm on them foods, bro. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Exactly. Tomatoes, peanuts, and come on, we just was talking about
Look at
peanuts.
grapes.
Peanut.
Grapes in the Bible.
You can't have no
Exactly.
wine,
You
nothing.
gotta know it.
Where you pouring
103,
this
cuz.
wine at? Where you getting these grapes from?
103, cuz. For sure though. For sure though. Yeah. Nah, we got grapes. We got all of that, man. I did, I got a little video on that showing all the, the fruits and vegetables
Well, here goes
that's
something for you.
what's that right there? Put that on the big screen. That right there. Oh shit. I think go ahead, David. You could do it for me, bro.
Oh no, no, I didn't mean to do that. Who? I think that will work right here.
Okay.
Well,
And what's
this
that?
from the
Great.
engraving from the Temple of Hatshepsut, 18th
Is that
dynasty.
corn up that bit? And
Yeah,
squash and shit? Oh yeah, they gotta stop playing, man. Come on.
depicts corn from Punt. This from South America, the land of Punt.
So that you saying that's the true land of punt. Not that shit over there they call because
No,
you already know the they call, where Africa Pro
Well,
Consularis was at over there
you know,
in
in
the
the
North
biblical
America.
times, like South America was really ancient Assyria. It really was. But I mean, through colonization of different time periods and stuff, yeah, of course, other people might have been, you know what I'm saying, ruling over it.
So it's just had different name and that's what it is, and they just perverted all of our shit and spread it across the world and making it seem like it was something different from what it was, bro. That's coming from all my knowledge that I gathered in my research. That's the conclusion, that I came to, bro. That
Going back
all
biblical, it said the children was scattered, bro. They
Yup.
scattered. That's why they brought in the imports. You know what I'm saying? To imitate,
Usurpers.
right?
Usurpers. Yeah,
Right.
usurpers, bro. That's what it is. They started with the darker skin Eurasians as far as in some of the, Filipinos or some of the people that came from other places, right? And then eventually, they're gonna bring in these Africans and shit.
See,
And they started bringing
they didn't understand the afterlife, bro, or the concept of life, right? So basically they felt like they could steal the inheritance, meaning that they thought that this is the inheritance. You get one shot to get it, so let's steal all the things and be all, they're not understanding how the transitions to come to be and the spirituality behind it, right? They saw what it meant through the text and like, okay, this is this God and this is this God, but they don't really understand the essence. So once they became two, that's when they started to try to change their karmic, that people call it what they karmic
y'all know what you're saying. The what is the word? The art.
exactly.
uh yeah, nah. Yeah, it comes back to you. What the fuck? I'm brain fart right now, bro. It's
Yeah,
late.
me too, bro. And that's crazy. It's late, but they're trying to avoid their karma. Let me word it that way,
Right.
right? And so now they're trying to put some things in place to kind of shelter them from the storm. But it's a little too late, man. The people are awakening. But these type of conversations help. I always try to come into it trying to learn something. You know what I mean? And I appreciate y'all fellas, man, because y'all been very insightful and intuitive, man, helping me along my journey. I've been over here with my pen scratching while y'all been over here rapping, so I appreciate it. Hey,
No
what we
doubt,
got?
bro.
You already know, bro. That's what we
Nah,
do. We
respect, bro.
build. For sure, for
Yeah, no
sure. And
doubt,
that's and
man.
you
Salute.
just like you came in with knowledge. That's what we all do, bro. We come from different parts and we make this shit one piece, cuz. Cause
Hey,
Yeah, I just
everything
followed
come.
you, brother.
what C say? C say we missing the key thing
Hey,
in the
America's
comments.
Yeah.
Am- America's blood. Go back over to the other map. That one. This map
That's
right
a good
here.
one. Yeah.
This map right here. A lot of people don't know this, but there's two rivers that's missing from the Bible, right? The Pison and the Gihon, right? That river at the top is the Pison. That is it. That goes that encompassed the whole land of Havila, where there is gold, and the
Well,
gold of that land is good. That's California.
they say the Max came from here though,
Well,
and it's the North
can you
Pole.
back it up a little bit so I can see it? Let me see. Okay.
That's why it
Yeah,
says
I seen
Eden.
you show that map before, David.
Yeah, that's why it says Eden Meru, because it explains the Bible perfectly. So there's two rivers that they don't put on the map at all. That's the Pison and the Gihon, right? So the Pison goes into to the Pacific Ocean and it goes around California, which is really an island. They build all
Right.
those dams, yada yada yada.
It is.
All right, and then you have the Gihon, which is the one under that goes into the Atlantic Ocean, right? So the Bible says the Gihon encompasses the whole land of Ethiopia. So if you go follow the waterway all the way through, it goes to the bottom of Africa and goes around Africa. You get it?
Yeah, and then a lot of people don't know Ethiopia is one of the oldest names for actual that
Yeah.
landmass. So, you
Yep.
know,
Yep.
yeah.
I'm not gonna fake it, bro. Say that last part one more time. That river does what? Grabs around where and ends up where?
Okay, so there's two rivers on this map that we're looking at, right? The one
Yeah.
at the top is called the Pison, and it's
Nice.
not on any modern day map. So it goes through that waterway and it goes around the island of California, which is called Havila in ancient times,
Mm-hmm.
right? And the Bible says the Pison goes through and it says it encompasses the land of Havila where there is gold and the gold of that land is good. California had a gold rush and it used to be an island. You get it? So that's number one. Number two is the Gihon. That is it that encompasses the whole land of Ethiopia. So this is circling the whole land, the Bible says, of Africa.
I'm listening to you.
So when you see this map, the Bible makes sense. There is no Pison and Gihon in the Middle East.
Everything line up, cuz. Everything fucking line up, bro. I don't care. All of this shit line up.
Right?
Even
But
if
it
we
makes
coming from
sense.
different perspectives, it lines up. It's like so more so you coming from the biblical perspective, which I dabble in too. But that's your thing. You feel me? You line everything with even with me going according to the Mayan mythology or spirituality and everything. Everything lines up, bro. Everything lines up, bro.
Bro, to the stars, how the stars don't go over other land masses because navigators wouldn't be able to follow the stars to the land they're going to. The stars
Exactly.
aren't spinning, bro. Like, this shit is wild. Like, how do we not know all this information?
How you think they navigated in the sea?
Facts. That you had to use the stars at night. They had to. And the stars are not spinning going over other land masses. It's staying over the landmass so you can go to it as a sign. Once it moves, it's no longer a sign.
Come on, bro. Light work. Come on, man. No, it's heavy. Heavy work. Let me not say light work. That shit heavy work. Yeah, I seen that map. I don't really like that map. I heard
Which
that
one?
map. I heard that map kind of flaw. I don't really like that map because I
I
heard
mean,
the
it got the most
cartographer
of it.
who made it. He wasn't. He didn't know like the guy that actually. I'm just saying because of the guy that actually made the not that one right there. The other one he was showing, the one with the gray, that one to the left.
America's
That map.
superior, India superior.
Yeah, Indian Superior, and because I was rocking with that map, but then I do more extensive research and want to find out who made it, when they made it, why they, all that type of shit. And the guy he was off. He didn't really know what he was talking about when we get to the root of it. But it could grow in relations to some shit we talking about. But from what I did the research, the guy that made it, he was highly mistaken. Like he didn't even know like nothing he was talking about, basically, bro, when it goes to that gray map. Now this right here, that's it. That's a swastika. You see it right there.
Yeah, the black sun.
And this is what's made, but that with a constellation, yep, that one right there, the North Star. This is what the swastika calendar map or the swastika calendar is made from. This right here, bro. Exactly. Exact. Matter of fact,
Oh, that's why they say that they came from Hyperborea and shit like that.
I'm about to show you right now. I'm about to show you because that's fire. Because that's all I be seeing. You feel me? All of this, yep, all of these symbols come from the stars.
Yeah, it was
So
a Hindu sign for peace, prosperity, something like this.
yeah, nah, it was. So they said it started over here, but yeah, for peace, for justice, they added different meanings to it later on, but it started as just the constellation. What we study is in the start. But I'm about to show you. I'm glad he's showing that. I'm going to show you one of my books. Boom, that kind of correlates with what he's showing right now. Hold on. Boom. So let me make my big screen. All right, so this is in a book. We're gonna get back. I'm gonna get back building on everybody. I know I stopped on page. This is
Are you good?
actually
You good?
one of the page I stopped on, but this is the how the Mayans basically seen the stars, right? And you can see kind of how it builds into a swastika. But I'm about to show you. Hold on, I'm about to show you. This is more how they interpret it in a cycle or a year and a daytime. Like I'm gonna break that down at a different time. But this right here is this is the swastika calendar right here, right? This is represents exactly what Cuz was showing. This right here in the middle is Polaris, so the North Star, the unmovable star, whatever you want to say. Indeed, and it's two sets of twin serpents, right? And that represents Quasi Kodo Kukulkan, right? The solstices and equinoxes, the four seasons of the year. The shit gets deep, bro. So all of that shit coincide, and we learn the 4 seasons of the year, the solstices and equinoxes from studying astronomy, from studying the stars, and this is a representation of what we seen as the stars, right? So that Polaris, what you showed on your map, is what we kind of put on Earth to represent what we were seeing, or the representation for it, and then there's numbers all through it. Like this shit get deep, bro. But yeah, shit show.
Yeah.
Because all these,
Bro.
when you see these little and these map on the Mayans, anytime you see any type of Mayan or Nahuatl or ancient Aztec, when you see these numbers, a lot of these shits is numbers, but you can see even when they get into the numbers, they make it kind of detailed because they make it a shit like it shit get deep, like they tell you what times of the year to plant and to harvest. That's basically what this shit representing. When to trade and when to travel and trade, all of this shit represent. You know what I mean? Because it represents the times of the year, bro. So yeah, shit show. I'm gonna put you back on the big screen though, cause you got. Oh no, you ain't had no more of them things. But yeah,
Nah,
man.
you ain't lying.
Hey,
Cause
hey, go back to that map, please. I just want to finish out the quick presentation. I know it's your map, but
nah, you
there's a lot
good.
of information on that map that I wanted to put out.
I'll take myself off this shit.
Oh, I got you. I could put you on the big screen. Hang on. Oh, you got it. All right. Great. Now, in the left corner of that map, there's a freshwater lake, right? Now you got to wonder, how is this anomaly happening? To the left, boom, right there. That water in the middle there in that circle is fresh. How is that happening? It's touching the water from the outside, but there's 3 rocks in between.
Well,
And
the
then the
fresh
water
water
is,
and the salt water don't never mix.
yeah, but isn't this an interesting anomaly?
I mean,
The
yeah.
Is that
ocean
my
water
phone?
is right there on the outside and it's salty. And the one on the inside is fresh.
What's going on? It's like,
Can you hear me?
hold on, bro. Yeah, I can hear you now. It was going mad slow. Like, hold on, right quick. Let me do something.
Yeah, yeah, I heard it too. Yeah, so the water on the inside of that is fresh. The water on the outside is salty. There's only like 3 rocks that separates the water, like where the narrow area is.
Yeah,
There's like 3 rocks down there.
yeah,
The
it
name is
is. It's
covering.
definitely there. Y'all might
Yeah.
not can see it, but I can see the rocks.
All right. So now move over to the right, bottom right of that circle. Right, 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 right. All right. Okay, boom. On the bottom right of that circle, this circle looks very made, by the way. It looks like somebody chiseled it or hammered it because you can see the mountains on the outer circle, right? Then on the yellow, the bottom right of that map, the writing says there's pygmies on this island.
Oh yeah, it do. Yeah, cause I got a clear one of this. I'm trying to
Yeah.
think of where it's at, but it do say that.
Yeah. So check this out. This is a real landmass in the North Pole. This is the size of a continent. It's super big. Look, Canada's to the left, Russia's to the right. How big is that continent in the middle? That's as big as the United States, really. You understand the size? Also,
Yeah.
a friend of mine was in the Air Force, right? She was working on Greenland with radar, and she said that she could see that land. I'm like, you could see this land? She's like, yeah, on the radar, bro.
Mm. Yeah,
That's and you ain't lying because that's how they find out with that new definitely with that radar what is it called
lidar,
LADAR system
lidar.
LADAR
LiDAR,
system.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's how you can
that's how they
find
saying this
pyramids.
That's what they've been
exactly,
using on
bro.
South America for the past 20 years.
Yep, the fun because they scary ass don't want to you know what I mean get down there with all them snakes and jaguars and shit. So
They've been
they stay in
uncovering
that
and
place.
mapping out what's been going on under the ground. They've been they found so much stuff in South America it don't even make sense. They don't like it's hard for me to keep up with some of the stuff they come across, man.
And and check this out. Look at the size of Greenland and compare it to that continent. Greenland is a good size, bro.
Yeah, it's just one of those continents, the size of them.
Yeah, but on the map, they show you Greenland extra big though, doesn't it?
Right, they do.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah, that's
crazy.
just the fake shit. I mean, well, you know.
Yeah, they trying to cover up that circle. Something is going on with that circle right there, where they don't want nobody to know the aurora borealis springs out from there. They don't want nobody to see it. They got military bases out there.
That's
Well,
the
they
North
say that's
Pole,
where you
ain't it?
get to the middle of the planet at.
Yeah, that's the North Pole, ain't it?
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The real
They say you
magnetic.
could get in from down there.
it's a real
Shit.
place. It's like we can't even hide from it. There's hundreds of these maps, by the way. Thousands of dollars.
And then that's kind of what the dude Admiral Perry that's what Admiral Byrd, right?
Bird.
Yeah, Admiral Byrd was with the ice wall and all that shit. Yeah.
And
So
Jensen.
he probably knew what everything really looked like because they don't tell us they purposely don't fly over certain places to make it seem like it's a longer trip when they can cut across different places to you know what I mean?
That's a fact.
Matter of
To
fact, I
make
think I
it
got
to
it in
make the
my
trip.
phone. Let me
That's a
Yeah, to
see.
make the
fact.
trip a lot shorter.
Let's see.
That's what I heard. They purposely do that.
They just fly slower.
They go, yeah, and they don't go. They
It's
kind of
not a
like
straight
don't.
shot. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't fly in a straight shot to where they need
When
to.
you in the
And
air, you don't really know. You just see clouds, for real, for real. So you don't
nah,
really
no,
know.
I already
I
know.
don't.
I
I
already
don't
know.
really know.
But they know, like I know the president know the like as far as in anybody that's what I mean in power in these lands, it's been passed down to them. What's the importance of all this shit? Definitely like what's the importance of Greenland? That's why that cracker fight so hard for it. You know what I mean? Because it's a military state. Russia would be able to get in if they get, you know what I mean? If they get Greenland type shit. Even though we cool, you know what I mean?
It
We about to be
it's a
cool with Russia.
greed. Yeah, you're right. It's a greed thing. They didn't want to give no quarter. You know what I'm saying? They didn't want to let up.
Yeah.
And Greenland is technically part of North America. You feel me?
It is. Yeah, Greenland is America, bro. I
That's
mean,
what I heard.
I don't even know why Sweden and like the rest of those Scandinavian countries didn't come over.
Well, the Swedes did come over.
Nah, they did.
They came to America.
Oh yeah, you talking about like migration? Yeah, but I'm talking about like becoming a state.
Oh,
Oh
nah.
nah. Is that in them type of people? Ain't they Vikings or some shit?
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I heard. Oh well,
The
shit.
Norsemen.
Supposedly they came. They came before all of them. Supposedly,
but
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 The real Vikings was us.
was us?
The
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, the
That's what's so
original.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yo, these people inject themselves into history. Let me tell you, yo, like this shit is insane. They put themselves as like Alexander the Great. They put themselves as like Jesus Christ, like everybody, the villain, the good guy. We don't care.
Nah, they didn't even, from my knowledge, they didn't even exist in the Bible. Like the people that started being them is the people that had leprosy, because that was like a skin, you know what I mean?
That's actually truth.
Yeah. So that's
Never
from
go
my
back
knowledge.
to this again.
From my knowledge, that's what I've seen. You feel me? That they, you know what I mean? That they were the people of leprosy, and then I heard this professor. I don't know what she was. She was having a speech somewhere, a seminar somewhere, where she basically was reiterating that. Well, she didn't say anything about the leprosy part, but she was like, "Oh, there's no white people in the Bible. Like
And it's a
y'all."
black
Oh yeah, yeah,
magnetic
yeah.
mountain
It was
up
a
there.
white lady saying that too,
Yeah, it
right?
was a white lady saying it.
I
Yep.
remember.
Yep.
Yeah, it's true. Leprosy was a skin disease where they would turn pale, like out of the blue, bro.
Yeah, that's exactly what I remember, yo. Because I was doing I'm like, what the fuck is leopard? Because I used to, growing up, I told you what my pops was and everything. So I'm, I'm privy to the Bible. Actually, I've read the Bible like 3 times, bro. You feel me? But I'm not, I'm not, and I read it more on some, on some situational type of shit. I ain't indulge into all that. But you feel me? I read it three times. I'm gonna just say that. You feel me? And so that's it. It kind of, you know what I mean? Everything comes back, and then I got my own interpretations. Like I don't necessarily agree with what everybody else agree with or what they got from the Bible. That's what I think. Another thing, people they don't need to go to a pastor to get an interpretation, bro, from the Bible, bro.
Exactly.
So
I'm not religious. You know what I'm saying? The way how religion is today. All right, the Bible is more or less like a heritage book, not religion.
hey, it's a
But the way
story.
how they make it, yeah, the way how they make it is like religion. Sunday, go to church. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna go to hell. Like it's crazy, but it's more of a heritage. Like how do we treat each other? How do we cook our foods? How do we plant our soil? It's a heritage.
And then what's crazy about that? All of that shit comes back to astronomy, bro. Like all of it. You feel me? Even
Hmm.
with the morning star, they had who? They had three. They had Lucifer, Jesus, and Mary all depicted at one time or represented as being the morning star at one time. So man, this shit get deep, huh? It get
They
deep.
be talking about us too.
I did a lesson on the morning
Oh, the
star
Mormons,
too.
yeah, nah, the Mormons, as far as in, well, so for some people, if your family was over in those areas, they hold a lot of our genealogy, a lot of our records, bro. They hold a lot of
Yeah,
it.
'cause they really know who we are.
Yeah, yeah, they know exactly who we are.
Yeah, I did a lesson on the morning star recently. I don't know if people caught it, but the morning star is kind of like a scepter that is granted to one person at a particular time for rulership. Like the first person that had it was Nimrod, conquered the whole world. The next person that had it was Nebuchadnezzar, ruler of the whole world. Next person that had it was Alexander the Great. Like they could be good or bad, but they are designated to run this shit.
And with that, and with you saying that, to me, that comes into knowledge, bro. Is knowing, because the person, knowledge is power, and that's what our ancestors believe. You feel me? So the person who has the knowledge really has the power, got the scepter, and even in this book that I just showed you, it showed that the Mayans, they different lines of the people who study the stars, they only pass that knowledge down to their lineage, right? And the people in their lineage had ultimately held the power out of everybody. They was the leaders, they was the chief, they was the, you feel me? So to me, that kind of coincide, bro. But nah, go ahead. I didn't mean to stop you.
And check it. The last morning star is the Christ. You feel me? It ends with him.
And that's knowledge, ain't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Come on, man. Come on, man.
real
Yeah,
talk.
yeah, that's fire. That's fire. Yeah. That's crazy though, bro. That, because I'm literally like, when you talking about, I'm able to, you know what I mean, coincide with what I'm reading, and I'm like, all of this shit comes back to astronomy, bro, agriculture, our practices, like you
Yeah,
said,
because
our cultures.
people don't study it like we do. People just go to church and they listen to the oh and the Lord say they're not catching it.
For real. Nah, that's for real, bro. And that's knowledge, man. Knowledge is so knowledge. Yeah, man. It all everything connects, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. I'm working on a little series, and I ain't gonna lie. I gotta add a little bit of this shit into my series now.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
gonna jump back on posting videos again, man. You guys got me inspired. I'm gonna
That's
start
what's
dropping
up.
them gems. You
Iron
gonna see me
sharpens
hit
iron,
1 million
big
real
dog.
quick this time. You're gonna see me go straight to 1 million. You'll be like, damn, Dave, how you hit 1 million? Don't even worry about it.
What you got? What you got on the screen, Ken?
Oh, that's just the missing books right there. You know, that's your Apocrypha. You know, that's Enoch. That's Jubilees. You know, that's the book of Philip and Mary right there. You know,
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. I
Hey, I'm
heard.
about to jump down. I followed all you brothers.
for
Yeah, I'm about
sure.
to say I'm about to close it out for the night too, fellas.
Yeah, no
But it
doubt.
was
I'm gonna follow
Hey,
y'all, man.
thanks for having me up, man. Peace.
Yo,
Yeah,
no
it
doubt,
Pop.
was,
man. Y'all be easy, man.
For
I'm
sure.
gonna touch on the we gonna get back on that. Yeah, definitely the missing all of this shit coincide, and I gotta read more on that. But yeah, fellas, I appreciate y'all for coming up, bro, and building with me. And yeah, we're gonna do this shit again for shit show.
Peace and
Peace,
love,
peace.
fellas.
Peace and
No
love.
doubt,
Peace and love.
man. Y'all be good, man. Later.
For sure.
All right, you too, bro. Appreciate my panel for everybody coming out. Peace and love. Get up with me tomorrow, man. We gonna keep this thing running. Keep stepping on them with the knowledge and the truth. Appreciate everybody that came in though.